Welcome to Care Madam Sanyang, Borom, Sweden. This is another Care Finder masterpiece. Let me take you through it. The first thing that really blew my mind about this house is the crafted seating area just around the car garage. Amazing. And the door is soundproof and transparent. Man, I can't wait to see the rest of it. And now we inside. Look at the living room and how spacious it is. Care Finder, y'all always outdoing yourself. And we now at the kitchen area, and you can see me doing my flexibilities and the drawers are so spacious, and then they have a gas cooker. What else to see? Let's go. Now we in the guest room. Look at how big this guest room is. Super big and nicely decorated. And they have a guest bathroom as well. Man, I can't wait to see the master bedroom. Okay, here we go. We in the master bedroom. Look at how big and spacious this is. And look at how big and spacious the master bathroom is as well. Care Finder, man, you guys are always doing it right. And now let me take you outside a little bit. Let me check my swagger up in this. You can tell I'm killing it on the runway. So now let me take you at the back. They have a swimming pool. My God, look at how spacious this swimming pool is. I can't wait to really jump inside, to be honest. And they have a Bantaba sitting area as well, so you can just chill and have a good time with family and friends. And then they have swings for children or couples. This is the right spot, trust me. And this house is just next to Care Madam Ceesay. Up your sleeves for our next gated community. What is this gated community gonna look like? Because Care Finder, they always coming up with this special, amazing stuff that we don't even think about. So I really cannot wait for it. So in case you're interested, you can just call 417-2215 for more information. And disclaimer, this property is not for sale, has an owner and not open for viewing. Care Finder is here for you.
Nothing ndemu APS letter. Ndemu APS letter. APS Gambia lemu APS. Katun APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyati mwete kufuri mbala kentala di. Ke nyati mbondari taba futu wola. At least ya fonte ko APS nyunkullo balbiji. Imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibina do ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyati mbo. Yo mi fo yenda sija. Ndanga moyo ko APS wallet isa kodo kino min tata fo wuli muan ime charge fenna wala nta sindija
ako nyati mbo nko ko kabo transuto katawula fo wuli muan ite fenne dola womu zero file bitun kabo wo 20,000 la kasele sal ike tamuna ike charge mun fa abuka fensi 1% da malem lati
wota yara gabe no be nyanta wula kana APS wala tele mobile ko ko kodo ki ibadi ngol
yajale ni APS kabrin nan credit ko to bari min ko mayata be wala fa mo kas pawat ni suto be during suto be dibining abe tema biti ko sonda ila APS mobile lo sika ni asika to ya safe da men ko fen ko atondi nawek ha ni oto jeje nyamen do tachi ama ni ama do abanta ila kas pawa isa hawasima ajibe free joriti je
otambade ngamye no albesito wulle fisiyata alna leta APS wallet yela lam baylo kon APS wallet nyaata doro bari ko do nim fata do suko kon to
ni be fono le mol nyaala jam nim fata do suko kon ba fole
basiti jembita ndo register jede kadu sa APS 100% namum
APS 100%
APS
Gambia 100%.
assalamu alaikum baɗigol ngali konton kali bisimilla ko reke momoɓe kerfatu jube kanyin tembe namba fulale ko ala baraka baki allah di grand bantaba programme mutanale ne min kanale arjuma ninyi wato sita mba fulale ko ala baraka baki alkanyim programme o noma nyamen ninyi wato sita talansey kata talansey na tambita mini tansa bala kata wo sandola milenyim programme o fasa ka sembentu yandi wolem APST alta APS abo download science aliyedda bayring nalia soto drong amanjare kote ke pour kata fonna be pour kata kaspa sangola abe soni alal bulu bakele albe sida alla solo kono ale dung abo kono ale kaspa sang watra almambada andung charges ni free of charge ledi ngamira wodi atale so abo dol kake nyamen ani APS is completely different idolta is free of charge and isi credit ko fanan sanno jele isi kodo fanan kino jele APS damale bake kan Gambia banko kan jang nge tendu ke je bake kan programme fasa ka sembentu yandi natare be kodo kila fanan kabo Gambia banko wala kabo Gambia bantela kana Gambia jang aki turu APS la itolle soni ata bake ni furata rango fango mantara je bitale la kodo ta yesi alla so kono watara imam bata ker fayda ka korda wafole ke Gambia banko kan jang alta kordal sanje korda kendol be bulle dulal beto allafta location wo location na kordal be bulu jele andung alse sotono of course allafta la damen kordal lori bandengol be bulle mi alon ko be wafi kan albasan na le drong yalla korda chabo diala ale dung korda nyin kono bari natra kene kensongale be bulu fana lafta le pour kalo e ka loro fana kalenne ker fayna ka loro kalenne alta ker fayna ni lafta korda kendola wala ni lafta lori kendola itolle baki kan Gambia banko kan jang andong aliajele example lu mialon ko ali wala je science ni advertisement o mialon ko Gambia artiso usen dara ya minde de aliajele wo korda be damento wo korda nyen ker fayndal ya dada woto loro no bakele bare itolla ko senata bake fanan ibela no balbe tarabari kan screen o ni dumale na lafta fengo fen na lafta fengo fenna ñinto donc albe min kela alba trial le donc pour ka ali la nombal call ale futaji ale kordal sanje ngal tendu kal jebake arjuma kotenna aning another grand bantaba another yes ñaato demanding alba jelal nene welcome.
Thank you very much, Buba.
Yeah.
So
the reason why I'm holding this
I didn't even check that
I'm holding this today ñille ale nene jele so Kamral be nene zoom la Jerabas boutique wole ñing or ñimma baldi nene la very beautiful yeah so ali ajele momo lafta kanyin sayla musoe akara kamfa sudo ibita jere muso lafta ñine ni natra mañole be bulu mala fi ka tol fo jam bari ni mañole be bulu
mol be membe sirin jang mañote mo bulu jang
jiwalo foy
ntele nga fo ngalon ne
kilimbe marala kilimbe bulu bala e be ma
ya
mara belo
ya la fandung ya ra fandung
e malo membe kering
be
filol
do ke mbawule
ndenga na modoro ne long ngamira ko molbe ko namu yara fandung
Zula Jerabas boutique alsak bandino telephone definitely kabringa ñil ngane ni ñini kale ñim bo mun dole def ñim original walolde ala number felenting 329 7997 329 7997 alsak bandino fana on 7012890 7012890 our international number is +44 75 3450 4991. Nene, welcome.
Thank you very much, Buba. I'm content, rek. Ci acknowledgement bobu nono.
Yes, beautiful, definitely. I love them.
Ko xamne bokku len dara mu set la rek. You know, sa affaire neex ko li nga def mu neex ko. Mu bëgg contribute. Momit da nga gis ne ci dolem ak man-manam fofu la contribuer parce que naka la koy defé moy bitik la am di jaay mo gis ne li nekk na lo xamne dina yanjel suma préparer pour ñew tok fi wax askan bi momit mu ne na ci japp kon ma content trop di wax jeena ba jërëjëf yal na bitik bi yokku yal na jarte bi yokku yal na law bi nga xamne ñuy la tudda bitik fu nekk biir Gambia ak liko wor kon di la jaajëfal on behalf of Kotu Kololi.
Okay.
Yeah, Kotu Kololi. Kololi Taban. Yeah, Kololi Taban Highway. Why bo call number direct? I'm sure the guy named la jox directions, you know, and all that.
Yeah.
thank you so much so di wax ñi ñuy seetaan rek jërë ngeen jëf di leen wax juma mubarak di leen jaajëfal beneen ajuma waatin di jaajëfal suma naataango yi fi toog buuba man damay ne suma boos waaw nit ki daal bu lay jox direction ne la defal toogal ñëwal bul dem kooku sa boos la so nga jox ko ci respect ko te mu mut ko lool ndeysaan nag ori MC man dama dee nangul nit ki lu ko yàlla meere man dama la ko dee nangul du ma ci xëccoo du ma ko bëgg a jël solo dama la koo nangul ma ñaanal la waaw boobu yaa ko moom ma nangul la ko namoo bare ngee mislee namoo kakali naka lañ ko waxatee miss
namo ko la kasiya
ahankay ngaloon ne
ko la kasiya
ngaloon ne
bara men ka diagne lu wolo ngana krefado
ahankay
kana si banda
ka cha kele fatol la jana
nin dunta programme oto mbe ko wol fo mole ye koma kuma no jang last week
bara be dum kilo la ma fo
ko min kappo ta jambe
wo final lole aten URR ala raida atu jele kelo le kera filo ala raida jele ama fo
ani na ye raida tuje moto babulo abe moto borondila so problem te wote
raida kuma kande mo jambe ka raga raida filo
namo kane faale
namo bare last week limbi jang tebe ñun na ñela
wala tinna ala yake imanna
abe dulal no wona
bari yalo ye koma kuma lota jankay ko wote kala
ngajele
bari kay ko koma kumole fo sambandiro nakale de yobante sambalaro ko hani sambalaro ten ndebo ka koma kuma ba ko la telo
ka kan tele fitinandi ma ja fitino so ngara dro
wa suma harite holbe no dege suma len ne suma harite holle rek gom len ko bokkuñ kër ak fam di fama dëkk ak fam dëkk num sori waaye ñu xëy ñëw ne cëp fii nii rek tajee nuróole nii rek xel day gisee waaw ahankay lu olof fi de wax ne montaru baax yi yëpp ñoo bokk a heure kon man it suma xarit xol bi maa moom ñoo bokk a xalaat Caam fi nga génnee ahankay yaa njëna
de saya ko njëgee lifit de endos bu
waaw
ma duga rek ma ne ko
non fi nga génnee yaa njëna ni ma koy waxee nit ñi rek sanse tinga waaw sanse yaa ko moom
MC moom
dama dee wax ne bu programme amee su nit ñi di sanse di génn dañu war a delay
boba ñim KMC kansulo ndemina gere wala wulinde ñu kam
ben ko do to
ben ko do mama ndigal ne ko yaje
nam mo be diya mu gang mo futa je folo
okay
way Caam ziaré na la nuyu na la waaw buuba dama bëgg ne ngeen zoomal ma MC sang cuub bi naka 3 pièces bi zoomal leen ma ñaari loxo MC
Lamin MC ju
waaw droite bi ak gauche bi loxo MC zoom leen rek droite bi ak gauche bi man fa laa dafa garaaw suma oncle bi Bojamba nuyu naa la Bojamba am na loo fi diggee te defanguloo ko de te olof daf ne diggee
bo dan ken kay abe ti satul falina dron
man bukki laa man kenn du ma dee wax kenn du may
falina dron
waaye Bojamba nuyu naa la dalal tamit suñ guest gi macha allah koo xam ne kuñ naw la koo xam ne la fañ ko yónni ak ña ko fa yónni yaakaar naa ne bëgg nañ ci moom parce que lañ ko yónni mu ngi koy def ndax am na ko ndax amu ko waaye ñu ngi koy dégg mu ngi xeex mu ngi wax mu ngi xëccoo parce que loolu lañ ko fa defal kon bu ñuy ootee ñoom dañuy gis seen bopp foofu noonu mooy suñuy wax ci place yi ndaw pencum réew mi ñoom dañ fay gis seen bopp parce que kañ fa yónni fes na te ci fesaayam it li yóbbu réew mi kanam la kon ñu ko dalal beneen yoon it parce que bii du premier first time bi mu ñëw fi waaye at least tey moom mooy grand guest bi grand Bantaba grand Friday grand guest kon buuba yóbbante la si guest gi rek ne ko ñu ngi koy dalal ak jaama
thank you so much Nene Talibo
abaraka bake buuba ɓe jiɓerlal konto namba fulay juma mubarak kam maɓe juma jama fananto ala sikkaro sabatindi Gambia anin Gambian koli anin Gambia e bantala katten ku sabatindi duniya kartantan mumo bela na ñim programme o fanan fo ala satinandi suufol men kam futandi jang fo ala sotum bulol kono kam futandi jang kayra kono kan kacca kayra kono kata wala sol ñini fanan ala si yirwandi ɓe diamu kankowol men la Gambia banko kan ala si jara fo molsi la dahal soto no ñame woto ɓe nañol konto na men yalon nitelle ka si jang namo nene wato wati naye pare drone ni ngam bande drone cleansing call ko fonde ne dunga nyaadi dum sa fon le bijé
tali wole bijé
fan ka fon le bijé ali da folo
tali wole bijé ali da director
namo telephone kana jaw
kodi
adu ngalom bi fana do ben ko lad
programme ko la foy tele bijé
fo la ko ne bi fana ya male den sa bijé
tali wole bijé
sambi iba fahamulo ko yirasan ike nenele sambi iba ko wol kala dale
be fam konto na bake ite men kan jiaja
thank you
be tendula be jeyla bake na kansulova MC par MC de
na ko doy ka kanya
malum fo business lalla ka bribe bang I don't know
it is any dia muda ya long is council for tailoring and
yo tailoring so hakilo samba jela bare kiskisiro
ya karalal kanda mojo KMC MC kamimbe do asa
yalo sound to salol to jega dum
buba yogale rube rek buba buba MC tit na sen gel sa
ralu ma ga di hole o hore
ngara ma hole style mo dara di
gay ko Mr. Bojam Bojam ba bay konto na bake kay na foñu man solo mate après multi mi yalo gatti bilo diana bake na son kala wañi
ela mo bannabe
bare yalo nabu kambe wato wat nimbina benna tro kudole kanake saje buka benno ja bare defana ma fula mbawuleng de
no
mbawuleng
ate benno MC welcome
ni buba dane tari bo mari lo fi rek ni ngeen nuyu ñi stan programme bi yépp fakk na ne jeg na ñu ci programme bi di nuyu suma xariti xol muy neene fakk na bi mom ñu ñaar dañ dajeete ak ciub waaw bari bi moom oringa ya talibo
ñaari kansulo
waaw fu ñaan nangu dogale yàlla rek
kay
waaw ko xam ne moom neexul la mu yàlla may xoli muñ
amin billahi buba bida mali bida tu wol ji dina ita kunnan do
kana sonde
kum neexul yàlla may xoli muñ rek
wala nga naan gala
waaw so ni ngeen nuyu ñëpp di nuyu neene si taxawaayam foog naa ne moom ñëpp gis neen taxawaayam bu baax si réew mi neene moom neene Gambia la waaw loolu moom ñëpp dañ ko war a nangul loolu keroog maa ngi dem Baara foog naa Sénégambia waaw boo jàng boo xam ne Sénégambia keroog maa ngi dem Baara foog naa ku ma taxawal ku ma gis ku ma jox loxo rek dafa maa ana neene
machallah
waaw Baara fu ma taxaw rek ku ma bireeg rek lu mu dafa ne naka neene naka Grand Bantaba so programme bi dafa egg fu nga xam dafa suri waaw so ñu bëri fu nekk ñu ngi koo wax so ko dafa mel ne loolu sant yàlla la waaw suñu defee programme léegi foo dem si dëkk bi ñu ngi ko seetaan muy ay kilifa kon loolu dafa nekk lu rëy te moo tax jar nañu bàyyi suñu xel bu baax ñu nga xam ne noonu la yàlla wursegal ñuy toog fii dama ko defa always nekkul ñoo gën a xam am na ko xam ne mu ngi toog si biti mënu gën a xam wala yàlla noonu la jagleel ñu ñëw fii di waxtaan kon loolu dañu war a jël di opportunité bi di gën a leeral askan bi luy dox si réew mi lii nekkul ne bañ nguur la oo bañ réew utee mun naa utee kii nii la gisee kii gisee nii adibidee ku nekkat loo bëgg a gis mooy réew mu dem si kanam wala yaa ngi si nguur bi wala yaa ngi si opposition bi opposition tam dafa bëgg a am nguur bu nga xam ne tam jàmm dafa nekk ak dal so kenn ku nekk rek loolu nga bëgg a si réew mi di nuyu itam taalibu bu baax si gis naa ko keroog mama Seexu Mbaalo bu ñu wéy suma broda Seexu Mbaalo gis naa taalibu mu ngi jóg donc sa yaram bi nu vidéo bi su ko taalibu mu ngi escorté Seexu Mbaalo si ma di may xaalis yaa gis taalibu mu ngi vidéo affaire yi mu ngi téye vidéo bi ak mobile bi nii fu nekk mu ngi koo daw ak ruine bi waaw mu ne ko mu ngi ana suma koto Seexu Mbaalo ñu bokkoon jidi si maanaam moom moo nekkoon suñu coordinateur bi si Diaspora bi 2016 waaw kon ñu ngi ko nuyu tam di nuyu taalibu tam bu ko lii tam ku nekk tam si loolu nekk da nga ko war a góom da nga ko war a mën a nangul loolu waaw bëgguma nga nekk si dara nga xam ne yow góomuloo ko waaw fii nga bokk da nga ko war a gune wane ko comme lu olof Njaay de waa ragal fiitu dafa xañ wërsëg fii nga bokk da nga ko war a wane an loolu mooy dégg soo bokkut bul bokk so gis naa Talibo nu mu si xëri keroog mu gars yi nu mu jógee yuxu su gisee doole bi da nga xam ne kii dafa xër si mbir bi waaw wane itam dinañ def pétition tam pour tam xeexal ko because Talibo dafa nekk ko xam ne gaynde NPP la tey suñu jël ay nit di jox gars yi si place executive committee yi di nga war di bàyyi xel maa si Talibo yi ñu nga xam ne every week ñu ngi ñëw si télé yi di defend parti programme ak seen government so kon kooku baax na nga considéré ko boole ko si executive committee bi nit ki nu nga ko ne dooleel waaye doo ko bàyyi si biti ret nit ki mun naa dooree si suuf nga encourage ko motivate ko ba mu dëkk si kaw mu bokk si executive committee waaye doo ko bàyyi mu nekk just di photo di vidéo di yëngi déedéet wala si media team bi waaye da nga ko war a dooleel ekkati ko
next congress bi will campaign
problème boobu dañ ko dee am suñu political party
next interview congress
grassroots politics
waaw wala grassroots politics dafa ànd tam nga amee position responsibility
authority
waaw autorité dafa important waaw ko xam ne da ngaa taxaw ñu ne man maa ngi si executive committee fu ñuy def décision bi fu ñuy waxtaane pour yóbbu parti bi si kanam loolu keroog waxtaan naa ko bugg a gars yi keroog kool naa bugg sax ma ne ko nekkul ne dama bokk ma si parti waaye dama feel like ne maa si Talibo yi noonu Essa Damfa ñooñu parti bi dañ la war di bàyyi xel bu ko Essa bu NPP dooraagu dara Essa maanaam ñu doon tapangate si télé yi mu jógee biir kaama di càng si ndox yi poto yëpp Essa lu mu daj waaw Essa lu mu daj si NPP foog naa ne so I don't believe ne comme nekku dama ko wax bi ko pour ndawlo Talibo bo Talibo Talibo yi siya every week Talibo ngeen defend Talibo lu defend kana ko defend si gars yi amul sa Talibo King FM star fu nekk so ada alama rek su pare
Talibo just receive it
waaw nekkul ndawloo la damaa wax mooy man bokk ma seen parti man tey su ma éenee mooy ngeen daanu loolu mooy suma taxaw man loolu laa bëgg loolu mooy suma liggéey suma nga guddi bëccëg wala su ma gisee lu nga xam ne tam muy ifi suma own parti su ma gisee lu nga xam ne xaraguta naa taxaw ne déedéet lii nanguwuma ko foog naa ne kii dañ ko war a doole
so Serigne Modou Ndiaye is the new Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Serigne Modou Ndiaye mel na
is the Minister of Tourism. Defense.
So gis nga
understand mag
waaw léegi dem waxtaan si loolu so dama gëm ne Talibo dama ko wax bi waxuma ko because suma collègue nga si benn plateforme waxuma loolu dama ko wax because yow gis naa sa taxawaay pare ñu te ñu promote billaay walaay talaay daaxul la politique because tam ñu gaa di promote nii dañoo gaay positions daaxul la politique yàlla gën a mën a communiquer yàlla gën a mën a defee yàlla gën a mën a grassroots bu ko politique bi yëpp sama local la si grassroots bi la so kon tey loolu bëgg naa ñu bàyyi ko xel bu baax maa ngi ko nuyu ko gërëm waaw non
we don't want you to say anything Talibo
President Barrow ako ni UDP ngol ya mar menna ni kay kananyinke abola kala so ni MC Faranko aben jayilale ba fula kanan jayi ba fula kanan jayi mbeda mi mbula ngaje enjoy ndeni na pati on der ngal mi menna
no legi lo lifir moko sa parce que xerat lay wax
MC because of time thank you so much
ni nuyu tam suma Mr Ablaye Bojang bu baax foog naa ñoom tam seen parti bi tam bari na yëngatu every time yaay jëme daaxa mu ngeen daaxa rek gis naa tey daaxa na media team bi yëpp isiaat ñeneen ñu estay waaw so foog naa foog naa jàmmi tam war nañ ko wax ne ko président bi ak political party nekkul benn political party nga soxla ay nit boo tey nga daaxa tey nit ëllëg nga génnee kii comme ko amee nguur demeewul noonu am sa amee nguur bi nga daaxa kenn ñëwaat ba tey mu gën a loyal si yow so ñu ngi ko nuyu bu baax tam Bojang tam si taxawaayam si bëgg a réewam tam nit ku sawar la après lu mu wax xam na ko bu baax so ñu ngi ko gërëm bu baax tam ñu bëri tam respect nañ ko trop amee den ba dee call bu mu absédé si télé bi fii am na kilifa bari ma call ne ma lu tax Bojang ñëw kër bu gaa gisee Bojang ñëw den ma callaat kontaan ay kilifa ñoo xam ne ni ngi KMC ay London Kona waaw ñu ngi maa déglu parce que ma dee call ñu wax sa affaire bu baax
thank you so much
waaw kon ñu laa nuyu bu baax tam nga gën a continuer tam si liggéey moo xam ne yaa ngi koo def
all right Mr Bojang
jërëjëf maa ngi nuyu ñëpp di dalal suñu gan bi di nuyu suma sista Sénégal bi bu baax bi
waaw moom boobu de
and of course Brother Talibo on a more serious note I think Momak Essa Damfa they have been doing a tremendous job for the party the party acknowledges or not is not our business but we can acknowledge yes we saw it we know and Talibo that is really, even though we don't belong to the same whatever, this one you cannot stop it because we also have our eyes.
Yes, so it's a good job. Yes, and it's okay. You know, you have to be realistic. And then of course MC, Kenenla. Wow. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The entire team and you know the entire Gambia, ñu ngi ñaan rek dëkk bi ñu gën a am jaama ñu nga xam ne ñoo nekk kalifa yàlla dimbali leen mun a yóbbu dëkk bi ñu ñëpp fu ñu ko bëgga.
And of course, it's a pleasure to always be on the platform to say my bit.
Thank you so much. Come fatile na Bayokara. Also kumandino on the 523-4379. 523-4379. 523-4379. Na lafta nyinsiva fa wala ba karla la ni nyinsiva. Kabe karale. So alta kam fadia.
So kabe hafta no karamusol fane. Ikam da yola no kyonta.
No ya karalo.
Karlo no ba
Karalo.
Yes, Gambian.
Na le inji is a Gambian, a young Gambian. So mbafla mobi altaji afele willing kama gara soto drong nal freta je nal tambire gara sola demanding alba jalaje. So nal karaji alsa kumandino on 523-4379 523-4379. Number nyimbe WhatsApp fana nal ya kumandi je drong alba soto lale andong nal lafta fana abe fengol karla le jang ali aki of course na modol bi jele mi alon ko aka fengol kare jang aka kie you know gambe bantala be dawo da drong asi fengol kie no je. So mbe duna program moto walefe kacha ko la mi alon ko lebe kering banko kanjang bina lunta on ba dundi la wolem honorable Lamin Ceesay di mi alon ko atlem Kiang West la député o nin ko Kiang West constituency ya lebe siri député bungoto ali alon ne of course a 2024 draft constitution o ya reject le kotekke akam dale ko million keme fula nyongol dunta nyin draft constitution o kono le sayeng bari hani sayeng ku momboje 2020 ta a rejectale no 2024 ta fana a rejectale akam dale ko Gambia man constitution kuto solo hani sayeng. Well, Honorable Lamin Ceesay fana dabe mol kono nying talata tambila ay mosono mufle no pour National Assembly yela decision rescind pour Diaspora Voting ya reconsider bari akam dale ko carte fayo ketale no carte fayo kola inata boendi ala kuma ko nyim manalo pour ka rescind na manke. Well, of course the entire NPP and the coalition they voted against that motion except Seni Jawara, right? Seni Jawara Damale voted with the minority and inate boendi. So ala fenko nyim manalo. Honorable, welcome to the Grand Bantaba.
Buwa barka bake, thank you so much. I'm content about aling invite pour kana kerfatu. Always nga content aling kana kerfatu because
Thank you, Honorable.
You know, nga panelists all the taraja many alonko, you know, they are very intelligent and the banko leje. Donc they know issues, understand, and they can debate less substantially. You know, so we can content about aling kana platform onto. And you always banko kuwa dawa darande ida entol deputy all febo amom febo kerfatu is always there pour ka show up to the citizens kaitan dila ko alla banko be tama kantenne banko moli la miro fuje. And of course the panelists nene kunung she called me yesterday and ako alias sasile kaitan dala ko you know this is your job to call the guest.
Yes.
You know, so for the first time, you know, I received a phone call from Nene. So
Nene call is very big, you know.
yeah, so it wasn't come a manken to kuri melanka warata back but ngalon kule melanko sula kulem.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah, very important. That's
yeah, nka kachale no
yeah.
kabirinka Facebook. I don't no longer use personal Facebook page kachat. But then there was a time 1-2 years ago kachat lenum but then no longer. So when she called ngalon, that is an important matter.
Yeah.
So I attach importance and urgency to that.
That's right.
So nkontanda back when she called talibo fana kontanta bakele kabirim bota masembe yalam benta masembe nga nyola hidije
to lebe nunje fenko
and to lebe benta masembe nga nyola hidije nkayo ko to lebe winna to lebe winta and but then he I political kele maturely and with respect and so wale koto kenyi wala la political dia nye no so MC fana to be honest he is a politician me alonko aka funding ke wala kan tol sawren len tol dindingolu you know aka political
technician wala
aka agiu nyami political kono you know it's so rational and objective and we look up to that. So I only wish and hope that all what he said and is doing is what is resident in his mind and heart. And I hope that is what is happening. And Mr. Bojan too, I've been watching you, Allah Kirfatu so and Allah activities in NATO Alliance and all of that. Content about young politicians like you, MC, Nakotoke, Talibo, Nene, Alkasi media to Almantara particularly Baralka, political Kuakacha, Alka Banco, Dingol Kunin, the Katan, the Konina Banco Kang. It doesn't matter UDP, Febo, Bame, Febo, NPP or whatever party. I'm very much impressed. And I'm as a young journalist, even Kekam Banco Kang is so impressive. And Mbal Betentla, Mbal Jayeda, and in the viewers, I'm saying hi to everybody. Particularly, Mulmimbe Kiaves Bangkok, Bafalali, Juma Mubarak to all of you. Oh yes, internet use network of
I don't think so.
Officer, Gamcell, QCell, every network is there.
I don't think so.
Yes,
Honorable, it's like Nying Araba Tambila, well, Sering Modu Njai is the Minister of Defense. You have like a foreign minister. State House here announced. Munimila reaction. A lot of people were not expecting this. Munimila reaction to that appointment.
It's a news to me, or akitanye kibar kutolti, but then it is not also a surprise to me. If President Barrow say Momoro Nimutanang as Foreign Affairs Minister, that would not be a surprise to me. Because President Barrow Mumansalteme he is capable of, appointing anybody purka ministerial position auto. Kabiring Banco e Sembo Diatela purka minister sol nominate. Atare iman subject to parliamentary confirmation. So as a moment in the natinole ayakeji, because a man sal to menka joko, nimbanko esembo mendintela, I can abuse it anyhow. So walantina kabra ying appoint will not be my surprise. But then other reaction bekelamente wala myentiko, it is a shock and a big blow. Minister Mayor Alonko, quote your declaratory judgment di pour ye the Sajo.
Oh yeah.
One man me alonko
accused of Sajo
Dima accused by police soldier and I case in Samba court court ye declaratory judgment di kaitandiko right has been violated court ye medi wala mindiko right has been violated wala mindiko mola nyanto wala tinyata aliya mola nyanto le tinya niya mola nyanto tinya. What do you do to the president? It's purka ye nyanto mentiya purka amurunda noto. So Minister Memma implement no up to 1 year until today. Minister Mayor Alonko ika questionable posaya defense matters. Minister Mayor Alonko until today in the defense issues you have economic soldiers here, you have Senegalese soldiers here, along the line you still it made internal security matters will regulate until you have forces to help you. You still redeploy your forces to Sierra Leone to restore peace, which is an irony. Because you cannot eco moli alimma ko manna bungo kono kalanno. But ite meni nyante ite fongola bungo kono dingolo ite la dinke bali ko bandira bungo ko semba dula pour eta modol tanka. It doesn't make sense, So Minister Membe will be a me alonko even a question of posaka in the parliamentary floor cannot be able to respond to those things very well. Is appointed as Foreign Affairs Minister. It's a blow.
So you think a current ministry performed at the stage that Mialonko is a kind of foreign minister?
Not really. The conditions of soldiers, because employment ni nata defense issues also. Defense issues all mandang kafoko for banko tankan fan, but many family be banko in tankaka or banko dingolo. Those men and women in uniform, their protection are all embedded in your mandates as a Minister of Defense. You go to Yundum Barracks, that station is dilapidated. I posed a question, people posted a question. Kafoko Yundum Barracks la condition of Benyaming, sojarol beje nyaming, aning Barracks cotton ol yundula cotton ol. Mem mantara lono wolye, among kukeno wolye, purka wol demano, kawal condition of uplift so that it's encouragement, it's a banko tankandino, without fear or favor. Memma okeno kana samba to the Foreign Affairs Ministry membe marala ntonim bantala bankol temola and Gambia dingol membe bantala bankol kan kela conditional jubeje natare ye mantorol soto na men kata baku ni mantorol soto Libya of recent mod jamala botna Libya dimba mala te fe Libya ye murundi nan mim mam soljaro la nyanto kantano nyim banko kan mami rew se Gambia dimbe Gambia e bantala o se wol bela nyanto kantano. I'm not so.
And also the international relation that we should have with the international community. Anyway, maybe I'm not so verified international relation background, certainly, but I know I security background. Yes, that whether you'll be able to man that position. Let's see. Nene, Serigne Modou Njie is the new Minister of Foreign Affairs. What is your reaction?
I mean, I'm just going to give a brief reaction because I agree with Honorable Lingwa, like, you know, the points in Johe. I'm not there a lot in fall no short of it because Lingwa here together and lowly money consists my health. Why the not a surprise again because key dogal or key or lengabe ñun ñep xam nañ kan la the times without number gis nañ appointment yi nga xam ne daf ko dee def ak lum ñu di jural ak fim ñu dee wàññi bim ñu dee wàññi as a country ak doomi réew mi so su ñëwee to this particular person gis nga appointments yi nii nekkut ne you just naka neexal nit ki or patronage right to give favors or whatever. It's beyond that. Because the head, like the ministers, they have the technocrats, like the permanent secretary, the deputy permanent secretary. Why your finger wara neka it, warna muna sahel, warna matcha sifana bubu, bega hamna lunya muna indil, yo dinga muna johe sa tik, nga advice, nga accept, nga disagree, paske hamga. Why bo hamu dara yow luñ la indi rek da nga jël dafa fekk lo xamne nekkut lu indi yokkute o luy andak dogal ni réew mi so comme ni nga ko waxee a lot of questions right because am na nit ñoo xamne fu mu nekk ni boo leen hire one a certain position everybody will be like oh yeah that's their field send hell match na si lolu
people are talking about Yabo some we are talking about even Safi Sankare Faraj
wow because ñun ñep xam nañ ne they are seasoned diplomats and they grew you understand in the ranks they've been there and manning several positions whether in the country or outside of the country so ñooñu noonu at least can do they are 100% perfect or knowledgeable in the field because we all learn as we go. You know, we are in an evolving world. So nobody is a monopoly of knowledge or any particular field. Why at least send hell match and a yaga for hamning. Budelu tutla sa hamning. Why somebody call hamne, you know, musuta ligay se fana bobunono. As far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, unless let somebody bring me, you know, CV and for having the man such positions in the past, they am some kind of wealth of knowledge for make the minister as appointed. So make ne lolo amu den man suma hel hawna ñaaw ne ndax dina mëna def lolu comme niko honorable waxe track record am dafa mata man suñu joxonté ma nekk the head of Kër Fatou fini right it's just a particular media house légui suñu joggé rek ñu ne ma dañ ma appoint as the DG of GRTS is a national broadcaster bigger than Kër Fatou right and is government be ko mom war nañu xol man bama nekké Kër Fatou lan la fa def in all aspects administratively you know PR sa track record understand your individual you know track record lu bari lañ wara xol sa experience sa education sa credit loolu ye war nañ ko xol you have to check the boxes pour gis nga comme que def nga ko fofu nonu yes, do perfect. Why? What can we measure? Nyata percent, 78%, 80%, 85%, at least to 90%. You know, ne okay. Defe na ko fofu non. Then dina yakana. Bude me fofu nono. Dina muna man. Why? In the absence of that, then man amna some kind of you know reservations. Ne the position bi diga kinko jox. Elo na ko wan. The kinko jox mun na ko mun na dogal position bobu nono. Because imagine al king fa gene tangara. Wax ko lu nekk waaye tàngara nga génne tàngara nga indi am Modou Njie like seriously hello we can do better I think we can do better at the end of the day appointment boo xam ne la man suma wax taxut mu génna
du génne de tàngara moo resign
de loolu laa wax tàngara moo resign waaye li ma miin ka fa génna that's what I was trying to say tàngara moo resign ne ko dañ ko génne waaye ka fa génna ak kañ fa def soo buggee teg leen ñoom ñaar xam nga léegi sooy move da nga bëgg a def better you know so I would have expected ne ñu indi at a level of Tangara or even more experienced and capable you know and aware and exposed than Tangara in terms of international relationship and diplomatic corps loolu nga doon war a bugg a def because da nga expect ne li tàngara def da nga bugg a keneen ku ñëw mu def lu ëppal lu tàngara def liñ doon jooy ne ça fait kooku mu ñëw mu make sure ne mu def loolu noonu yëpp loolu mooy expectation bi and loolu mooy growth loolu mooy yokkute in the absence of that I just wish us all the best.
So xoolee li fi nam bi CVM bi well am na a master's degree in international relations.
Like seriously?
Yeah, but so xoolee career bi is a military career, you know, si military bi la nekk throughout. He's a retired brigadier general, but he has master's degree in international relations, and maybe you have, you know, ñoo xam ne am nañ the same degree working at the ministry pass nañ a lot of levels yoo xam ne they can serve this position, but moom background am is more of military than, you know.
So now, what does he have? You understand? What leverage does he have more than the Yabos, the Sankares, who have the same qualification in terms of education or even more? But then when it comes to experience, they have it way more than mom. So why would you even choose mom over those people? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we can all sit here and say we did international relations in
we
all levels
have
and all
other
that.
qualified Gambians. You know? You have exactly. That position.
At the end of the day, them not serve the interests of Gambia and Gambians. You understand? Because again, somebody with a military background, you are combative, right? You are radical. You are confrontational. You know what I mean? Because military, Lingham, obey and complain. Order. But in the diplomatic corps, it doesn't work that way.
Yes.
It's a matter of negotiation. It's a matter of persuasion. It's a matter of, you know, dialogue. It's a matter of peace building. That is what it requires. So, your lingering fini, what the job requires is like bulubani mara.
Bulubani mara.
Anyways,
I yield.
Alhamdulillah, Mbedwala, I for Palaso Sawa.
You should have asked me, let me speak for Talibo, because I know exactly what Talibo is going to say.
Yes, Mbedwala for Palaso Nisawati, I Gambian Kulwati, President Jiko Mel Sorato, or Jiko Ning Asotarji.
Amen.
Kantung isijiki mola hanim PhD le babulo mentameta PhD la isaki je ninda jiko mambete adron o tekela fendi bare hande moma PhD soto ko ni atare ko ay banko la ngani yola soto wala mo kuti mi alon ko apumata bakela yo ni na Gambia dum ke place soto na duay dron na yamaro diala pour kaje ko yate ke molleje ay molla interest ni ay o jibe jiko wala sita ga dum abe kalila le fana ba kalindi la o kalindiro nyim fanan na dino la mo fananti o kambe nyitandi wala nyindi ko ye fandi mol la say so di briye fandi mol la dron oto te nyanta mol la nyanto kandalal be wala fo sa akiko asi banko ni Gambia banko asi choki nyola nteka sosoro ke dula doltole ni ko technocrats and other things nka sosoro ke dula doltolal because technocrat no dol bije wole hani me yalon ko abe tiabu sola wulo kono wole fisatati ni ala ngani yo mantari banko ye
wala ka ministry samba ho
so this is it
they only take decisions wala dokula
wala mo hana maduje ala le entol beda ay yamar fenela fo ite mu christianol te fo muslimol te ala la won loi fam mol balantala si moja fanke mo kende bati ay muslimi ya dendi ko dungo daji ko ni dala par na fata mba fala muslimol be sallama le imbe ka tarjele wala nan ni ko
so what does that have to do with
kambe nyitandi la wala nyindi ko mo si mo tombon ya fo anyi qualification so daji ko talaw pala so to pour ko tamandi ka jele foye.
But for example, you example soto like nyile doko kele ya dajiga kendo tamandile ye doko understand ne. So obviously ni akijaba is the same.
Yalo kaito la karanjang. Okay, ya tombon dalilo men kan imalon ite bela biro la fokan.
Ngalo nago.
Ani bati la modron buba.
Ya tombon e pura ge
ya malante kala president ye politico ta ye journalist ya la mo. Kando journalist so ni kacha mu politician on leti. Nimbe kacha kambanko la kola sa ite fonkan challenge ka
ani nge nyininga mbuge challenge me nyininga ga wala mna dogo
no nyininga ro nyin abe dinka kanyame il faut be ke kan kacha la fon le islam
ani zo ngami nge nyininga ga say you have a technocrat like people who are suggesting Yabo, people who are suggesting Safi Sankare, ol kere je
bo suggest
no la man kende di mol ba suggest kan
yo okay ndey men suggest jang wala nyinti ko ay momo din kije imari nyande kala molati be yamar la menna wala nyinti ko imari ye wakle do ko ke banko mole
even without the background
hanne background kije
okay
ndela fonko yo le sambay
thank you
ya understand yo membe keri wala nyinti ko mo fulale diamra jang dibite wonin kansulo neni honorable Ceesay ok honorable Ceesay carte le fayda mo be man carte o faya bira ba nyini kantu mo men a nyini mo le bulo ma nyini président ma ke jede a nyini mo le bulo bar mo dol ye jiko men so wala nyinde ka take non wala na ni man carte o faya yalo kiyam be man carte o faya ha dole carte o faya dole jiki dole do fone carte o faya dole jiki datel hana to be nyindi amon be la député bunkono o mo do e fendindinde te kaje ko ni mam na faso do député bunkono par do ya na faso do jele wolum harmadi yati harmadu kay ka ko exemple o tay famal mo be te la fino la mola bi dol bilem kan mun anda tele le honorable Ceesay ke député o men ka ta ke balanken son ke député bunkono ay hadi nga moyle par dol bi jawol imaaji dol ka jayi wol ka foko ye sama o dari lola kanje ñina be ko ñinti nene biri ba tumbu na kansulo yala wato men ama diya dol ye dol ko munan nan ni ba kala o kansulo fonti ya understand bar me a tumbu wa tumbu dallo men ka wayalo ne andum natar ko kanyi mirol men be fanyi banko kan jang o nyim plateforme ko jang ni ngo kenna do ko dulal kono o be ko mala baake tarano han KMC fo nyamote banna nyamote tarlaje KMC bari dol koy be do ko la dol ko te do ko la mote nal tarla dunya kono mobe soy ma bar mobe balay ma fana
e ke la nyamo ko la KMC
no la na bunda da fo na juru mo la bije sare dole apo ya fam so même bije wala nyinti ko gambian ko la alinga duwanyo e ni atro ko mahani sutia a lebulo fon la one can understand comme itata yente business la shika yen sama foreign affairs par mombe alon ko 40 anana man sakunda do ko ke anana minister yake you know ben ala CV ben karankan jang asutiyata ko nyinna ibe yo yamar la le duay bar kanala ko jindi duma okay yala ko jindi duma dole fanam be minina o fanam be te fanan ta jindi la duma le ibaje la Gambia na nyaton kaya fon amang ate respect ko sodola ate nyabo sodola ali nga nyo kibirindi ni mo nata man do ko ke damen folo iya kije ala fa he ye ke damen je mudula kende balti de banku nim banku tema akata yakiten man sa kunda dole tambita ni yow do la ministre la CV ni tandila wol ma hani fenne karan dibite kenso ye promodoro ye ke ministre wol be ke dañu banko kanjan
ya jambe ani bob dividende kensente kana fo dividende kenson no kana fo dividende kenson
yes ko buti maji dring yetel jindi maji ya fay
ani banko le
sele ani ba do maji ya don position la be tabul dring ko dividende kenson imaji yete kam fat
non man kam fa
ha yo bari imaji ko
kanu wrong objective
ko kanu fo bari e be men fo kam minister na atar ko na fanam bi jang wala badi bi jang aba fo le kanu fo
but what track records I make.
No, what he's saying
very
is
good.
The honorable yaro.
Nde safo no député o. Gang bi. Nde safo no député kansan. Because bi a téléphone dun da député bunkono. Banko la kayto alko kayti kansan. Mo sata ko a téléphone ne député kansan. Because ali afu ni dial kayti kansan. Alba la diamol. Bar nim fana nata ntel meli fana ngal tel sindije. Nimbe diam lali. Fana safo no ale ko député kansan.
Okay, so saying no.
So Buba, membe je dro wolam nyindi ko President Adama Barrow, ay ngani yo soto banku diye ke bula kula isi menke no andu nyanta menkela. Oto nay momo ndinke dawdandi. Be do ko kija handi president ma fo nyinke. Opposition ma fo nyinke. Itela dati ko nyanta ntande la ko nyine kije.
Ndanga mara nene la boss le wegela je fam bari amanda kije.
Jomala modi.
Docteur ne boss kile na babul.
Docteur be danga.
La boss jomale mon na boss de.
Ko je no le.
Afa je fa.
Docteur Ceesay. Ela boss ko dol.
Afa ela boss kala fa ela boss ko
do so do bar yalla mo man nyen na nyina la. Ela boss ko to bi jele boss ko do be bul say o nyaawo nyande. Lumbina sila o fanansi ke la boss ko to te. si boss kuto do fana solo wala ite fa ke boss
bismillah
so ça est ndesi même fo Gambian ko le dron ali nga am dañoo fee
okay
yes
MC go ahead
jërëjëf Buuba foog naa dégg naa ñoom ñëpp seen wax yi si mbiri Serigne Modou Ndiaye xam nga dafa am il faut système bi ñu soppi ko bu ko dafa am tax ñu xeex mooy man lu ma fa gis léegi mooy rotation moo fa nekk si cabinet bi
the same people
yaa ngi am almost 1.0 almost 2 million Gambians ñu nga am nañ qualifications
2.4 yeah
ñu amee ni ngi saaf Gambians yi di jàng Gambians yi nekk si outside the country di saaf high position dafa bari ay UN ay EU fu nekk Gambians yaa ngi fa nga xam ne soo xoolee suñ relationship outside the country nga xool naka la demee down soo xoolee Gambians yi nekk si biti nu gaa di struggle so ab already Serigne Modou am na position mooy mu ngi ko téye mooy defense waaye noonu nga ut ko xam ne am na di qualifications communication si trust bank fa nga jox ko position boobu waaye duñ problème mun am mooy nga gis ne président bi moom lu mu góob mooy keroog moo gisee Serigne Modou mu ngi ko nuyu mu ngi su ko suronam nii xam naa ne loolu mooy reward lii mooy reward bi
wari ifana ngeke talibe la modi garde talibe be dawoda di archive ko sa tele ka fendi
waaw lii mooy reward bi am nga talibe suñu wax yu boy war la bàyyi nga wax
non li waxtaan la rek
it's not only bàyyi la nga wax waaye yinde compia talibe yinde buga compia
no haral ñu compia de
yinde buga compia
so dan ba fla wala mo be sando ita fu ngay tar
abula the MC continue
yalla ka mol criticize sal bu kala fu mol yalla criticize o ngana ma diat
foog naa ne
but talibe you need to understand something if you want to compare the presidency and a councillor or a mayor you are bringing that office down
albebe mol la ko to
but then we're talking about positions and levels position and levels talibe
albe criticism ani albaka accept la ka mol criticize nyame telephone mbale duma mbal criticize la wonyale accept it with good faith.
Okay, thank you so much.
Who coach you on those English
MC, go ahead, please.
So, fu ma waxee ren mooy xëy na su ko boobu na président bi ne waa xam nga moom based on appointments if they dem more on kii moo loyal si man kii xëy na lu ma ko war na ko def xëy na gis na ne kii sukka na ko jox ko loxo xam naa mu ne kii moo xam ne ko foreign ministre so war ma foog ne foreign ministre bi Gambien si bari si ëpp si Gambien si nekk di ko xaare fii
yeah definitely
waaw am na ñu gaa doon laam-laame seen tur yi foog naa ñu suñu leen ko joxoon sax comme mel ni di British High naka something I think
oh yeah that Bensouda
oh yeah am ñu doon laam-laame affaire am sax boobu ñu Gambien si bari ñu doon gis ne xëy na kooku war naa mën a fixer position boobu soo xoolee track record sax bi am nga soo xoolee honorable mu ngi explain su ñëwee si assemblée bi am na lot of things yu nga xam ne nekku di leeral si Gambien si hotspot agreement bu am ne diggante Gambie Sénégal ba léegi moom ak Ministry of Defence ba léegi Gambien si xamul that agreement boobu ñu bëri xamul agreement boobu diggante Gambie Sénégal security agreement si yu bëri mi ngi am soo xoolee proper reform nga xam ne moom sax as Ministry of Defence nga war na koo def si ministériel bi right now fu mu nekk nii almost 8 years security reform ba léegi amut ba léegi foreign troop ñoo nekk si dëkk bi ba léegi so moo tax bu ma déggee ñu ne Gambia mooy number 14 naka peace award nañ jox Gambia ma di nga xam ne mi ngi am peacekeeping mu ngi si dëkk bi fii da nga nekk di peaceful country so ma gën a jël so yooyu xam nga so foog naa ne dama gëm ne président bi doo am na right pour appoint ko ne waaye lu ñu gis right now loolu lañ gisoon si nguuri Yaaya Jammeh lu ñu gis nii léegi moo ne ko si nguuri APRC ba nga xam ne ñu ngi fa woon Jammeh dafa jël kii tey mu yóbbu ko fii ëllëg mu jël kii yóbbu ko fii yóbbu ko ñoom nee ñoo doon round rek ñoom nee ñooy lobby position si suñu génnee kii dem wax ak kii ñu dugal ko fu ñoom neen so adabi de loolu nekku di encourage young people si xale nga xam ne ni ngi jeexal si university graduate ay ñaata Gambians ñoo nekk di jeexal si university nga xam ne dañ study this kind of course dafa bari so mun na nekk di rotate benn kanam rek muy round te nga jël kii yóbbu ko si foreign service bi ëllëg nga génne ko fa isi ko ministre lii la Jammeh doon def an li bokkoon na taxu ñu génne fi Yaaya Jammeh 2016 ne ñu ne ñu Gambie la Gambie bu bees leen soxla so foog naa ne président bi war naa mën a xoolaat naka la mu appoint soo xoolee right now current ministre Barrow yi man su ma doon read gars yi kenn rek laa mën a wax ne mooy di best ministre kenn rek waxam bariwut mooy naka ministre of higher education Père kooku kenn mënut a daawut liggéeyam kenn
Père is really doing good yeah
kooku next government buy ñëw sax mun na koo saaf wala c'est passé loolu xoolal ñoom ñëpp they are more on politics Père right now dëkk dafa toolu fu nga xam ne économie hard si banque ci réew mi foreign nga ministre of foreign affairs right now diggante Gambie ak other countries yi yëpp dañ ko war a xoolaat agreement si yooyu dafa war a amaat xam nga Gambia xoolal pour ñu am visa naka de Gambie noo dee struggle soo nekkee Sénégal pour nga am visa jarul apply visa fa Morocco da ngaa dem rek passeport yi Sénégal dem nga Morocco kon xoolal Gambie yenn country ñoo jox Gambien free visa yenn countries la ban Gambie moo fa bëgg a dem so yooyu yëpp ñu ngi dañ ko war a xoolaat suñ foreign policy bi dañ ko war a xoolaat defaraat ko xam nga ñu am trust si ñoom bu ko nga ministre yooyu dafa kii la ministre of foreign affairs ministre of naka interior justice defense loolu nguur waru koo caaxaane soo gisee Barrow mu ngi féel bëgg nu mu dee appointé gars yi ñu bëri yaa ngi appointé gars yi si place bi xamul dara foofu permanent secretary technocrate leen loolu bëgg a xam loolu laa wax mu ne la appointé sax ñu door la undermine bëgg a xëy na moom mu ngi amoon xel ne mooy nekk ministre bi so technocrate yooyu ñooñu tey gëm nañ ne tey mu la nekk permanent secretary 50 years 20 years nga nekk permanent secretary bëgg ngaa di jóge fa dem nekk ministre
all right MC
so foog naa ne lu ma gëm mooy comme ni ko taaliboo rek as far as président bi am na ulte si moom appoint ko ñun lu am pour rek ñaanal ko waaw so loolu moom wala xam naa ne
dalbe ben suda la kansulo ala politicien no mon dunia bo ñaale MC foog nga soññi ko si fala
Ablaye Goye boo wete la réaction
Yeah, I want to agree with Taribo on this. So, foreign affairs is very important.
Yes.
But I think I have not read his CV, but you've made mention of international relations.
Yes.
And his security background. Usually now in academia, international relations it goes with global security, international security, and so on. So I think from what you have said, we have to give it to him. He has more. He is a better candidate to me than those that you have told me because they don't have the security background. International relations require security background. And that is why even if you go to the US embassy, you have security experts there. Some of the attaché are military people there. Yes. You have to be tactful, you have to be strategic. And you need security people who have background in security to be there in embassies and so on. That is there. So if Nkoy Hall, from that perspective, he is a better candidate as far as your narration is concerned. I'm not sure. I don't know these people.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is we pray for all Gambians, right, that are appointed by the president. For them, that is what I also said. Sometimes you may not get what we want, but maybe with little prayers and with little support, they will understand that people are watching and they want us to move. So from that point, I agree. But I totally agree with the other arguments. And the reasons are this. A military size of Gambia is like, in other states, what you have in terms of security is more than the entire Gambian army. Even boot combat is a problem. I buy boot for soldiers. I don't have to tell people that.
That is right.
Because they don't have it.
And that's very wrong.
That is not something that I think. That's what he's saying. The conditions are very bad. And you are the guy overseeing that. That's terrible. That's terrible. And if we are to measure based on more performance, see ministry be, of defense, solidarity and welfare, and the brain drain we have in the army, because we have a lot of people that are very intelligent. Some of them I know them personally. They leave the army, go and take some other international appointments because the situation there. These are very, very young people who have managed to become very, very good officers. But amuñ loolu noonu te moom moo oversee loolu noonu. So I don't think that is the right guy for us to have in our foreign affairs as a minister, based on some of these things. These people mentioned something here equally. Look, we have agreements between us and Senegal, even though time to time, but Gambians still fail to get those. I'm not sure parliamentary people even saw the agreement.
Yeah, we just questioned it last week. Last week,
yes.
That agreement.
And you are the biggest body, yet you cannot even have that. So it's like for us, we are talking, we cannot
going
even
to have another minister answer that.
Yes, but let me just quickly say, like Mr. Bojam his academic background, man can tell a big interest in. A big interest is his records as a foreign affairs minister. In Foni, more than twice, Senegal soldier solning,
agree.
Ning rebelo la altercation. I move of Hafonye.
I am a see what him more
You understand? That happens under his watch as a defense minister. He should be held to account for that.
Let me help you there.
So numerous things. So our education background is not my
this issue. This is why I said
in all his responsibilities.
Yes. This is why I said if you bring me Farage or Sankare or whoever that you bring me, and you bring me Sering who has a master's in international relations and has a security background, he is more qualified for the job from an academic or theoretical point of view. Because foreign affairs is not only about the administration and so on. Sometimes you have security issues. And you need somebody who is savvy, security-wise, to be able to work on some of these things. It's very, very important. And that is why even if you look at in academia, go and read international relationship, of course, security is part of it. So that is why, yes, from that perspective, yes. But I have seen it. I have seen rebels in the Gambia with guns. Machine gun, we call it. I don't know how military call it. And of course, AK-47 in Bajagar, Kampant. I was there during the lead to the National Assembly elections. I was there. I know what happened. And we have a lot of people that are doing bad things right in the Gambia. Soldiers will do stuff. We know. I'm from Fonyi. I know exactly, and that's why I said, if you look at the conditions, why on earth should I buy a combat boot for a soldier if it is there? I'm managing to even leave.
And it's very wrong for civilian to general soldier.
No, come dimbale correct.
Never wrong, sir.
No, but MC, I'll cool a photo.
No, allow me.
No,
Okay, yes, no, I'll be fair. Okay, I'm fair. Okay, Salibo, go ahead.
Just quiet, sir. Time what is it?
Mola Datico, Ndafon Tessin Perdo Colas, Saturday Fembro, seated Danifina. Uma minta ka fuko
no, but we have seen a soldier who came before the CDS. They complain the combat is a problem. Uniform is a problem. So this is not a one-off case.
And but ilamoy. Ala tombondro come ya fanyame. I have a defense. I security matters in yo. So ibadela ko wo konola. Fitno dol ka ke Gambia banko kanjan ni yatri ko yati samba no foreign affairs la karola. Askeno abo takul no lale. Banku ni banku tema isi ay ka ay yo bang dunia ye fe offendinge mo dole daji ko ka kudo nati ya understand ban daga mem fale wala mi hannim president arambaro mo mo dinati ngi lado in set up mem bidam kilim ta jayina
allow me
yes kilim ta jayina is an opposition jabala ba jayina.
But we are Gambians.
And your understanding of opposition is very, very meager.
Yes, it's meager.
Yeah, your understanding of being an opposition is very mild. That's why you speak that way.
Because I'll follow them. Okay, Talibo. 100% Adam Barwe Malay call a Jindina defense minister.
I am nothing.
I love weakness.
I am nothing.
Rice can. Abe bambang kan Talibo. So Albania put it like you.
Okay, thank you. Talibo, what do you have in the please?
Come sa pudi ngabay ko legi mo lifit.
Oh, go ahead,
yes. Coming for wale. Alakao might not be the issue. Another experience because I do love my mail it connected and it's important. No one follow Diala. But n'importe qui ate from ala ministry kabra bige menketa ate koto. For mbe wala fokan. That doesn't mean to be for example the mam arambauto.
No,
No. Ite fo la suo fam ko daji ko do bela. Imam perfect.
No, so Talibo
daji ka dole be la suo ko no. Ni na do ko daji ka dole bela. Daji ko dole bela. Momam perfect.
Talibo defa nka.
So ni mol ko ite la suo ko no problème wala kete. O day tete mot.
Ñu misral programme bi.
Wala ñin kansolo mo. Adamu amanka kansolo de problème wala bala kansolo. That's the issue.
Talibo.
Ali sa ante ñin tam fayele.
No, but please, Talibo.
Non ta tam fayele. Na ko ñi sisi.
Ani, please.
Nekli la mu jang man sala.
Okay, I will give you time. Ni la fa time wala mbadi la. Please,
if you want to play the victim here and get the male be masato or whatever. Talking about national issues. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be
celebrities. Nada.
No, celebrato.
So
celebrating.
Yes, Angleterre until Gambia.
Celebrating.
Until Gambia ka fo nyale.
Nene dibale ware koy. Quiet.
No,
Mu
so
ses be ade
yeah.
ya bu ko kamba.
Sojagon, Senegal Sojagon. Ila sel sol anila ke sol ka boy Gambia. Ntenga witness ngagele. Nim Paradise TV tatale they covered all that.
Yeah.
So this is first hand something ngamenge. Nkole explain here. Ko looking at his record as far as a minister, even on parliamentary floor, I've got question Jamal Lafika Kajabi. Honorable has cited a clear example. Yeme Ajuso Saleh Sadio Dingo wo kamala ya bay. Itata loi nyatini wala loi kitio take afoko hani ala nyanto tinyala ala mugundi. Nama officer they said ita mugundi la.
No, our last response, ako ya start like a lawyer engage. So, but lawyer man respond to them. So that.
And for how long? For how long?
Somebody who was late. Why engage a lawyer?
No, if close to order.
Just write to him and say come back. Yes. So it's up to him to come back or not come back.
Ruling Kerala already.
Exactly.
Just reinstate
So these are things. So for me,
okay. Yeah, Abo India, Talibo Tonyalo. Yes.
I think
after he took all the time.
yes, he's
Yeah.
one day.
No.
No.
Ila moy drong boy. Ila moy drong.
Mo kilin tare ni platform.
Ablay, go ahead. Please.
Okay.
Abwende.
So my conclusion would be, I think it's important for us to understand something. Recycling people is not the best thing. We have a lot of young people, they watch at university, both home and abroad. And they are in the system. Some of them are not in the system. If we have a defense minister, Munge perform, for example, or you think he has done a lot in the defense area and you want him to replicate that in the foreign affairs, I don't have any problem. But don't you also think, jël ki fila nek nga change position bi yobu ko fale, it's just like all wine the same, a new bottle.
All right.
So it's like you are not giving chance to some of the young people. Already am expertise be, and they could bring a breath of fresh air into the system.
Okay.
Not old thing. So for that reason, I think the government could have done better. His or the one appointed should have done better.
All right.
Yes, but what we want to tell Talibo is, please, your definition of opposition is really, really wrong. Opposition doesn't mean that you are opposing anything that the
challenging the government is wrong.
Okay, thank you.
I like it, MC, the calm down.
Thank you so much. Mira topic dolto straight away. Me kachala kudol korege. Honorable, I think murane kan before me na about at the National Assembly. Nyantakara KMC le. Dami alon ko yegala kius le ko 7 million vouchers le filter je. Nene, nyesen KMC 7 million vouchers nyo farel. And you are accused of, insulting people.
7 million worth?
Yes.
Not 7 million vouchers?
Yeah, worth of vouchers.
Okay.
All right, yeah, that's right. Thank you for correcting that. So you are accused of insulting people who are talking about it.
Who accused me of that?
On social media. Oh, recently you're already using social media.
Okay,
that's
I
why.
didn't say it,
You
so
didn't
I
say
can
it.
address something that I haven't seen. So let's talk about let's talk about something that is relevant and that has to do with the people.
Okay.
So this is the thing. My take was
Yeah.
a whole report that has to do with several institutions
Yes.
across the Gambia.
Orders billions, I think.
Oh,
Up to a billion.
well,
yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned it before
Yeah.
I come there.
Yeah.
So because Manama Filne, our priorities are not right, right? Our priorities are not right. Because let's talk about the parity rule here, 80-20. Linga hamne, moy njëriñ askan bi yépp Gambia yépp nga bàyyi loolu di wax loo xam ne luy njëriñ honorable la fii nii ak Bojang pour man dama feel ne misplaced priorities la ok man ku ma xam ne man parloo ma man suma kër bi ma dikka sax boo demee nga laaj lañ nga xam suma yaay dama ko bàyyiwut ci waxam dëgga and hold ko accountable much moo koo xam ne bokkuñ dara fokkuñ dara liggéey moo ñu boole ak yëfi Gambia so man awma problem sax ku question loolu because I tell people if you question that with me which means you don't know me and if you don't know me you're just blowing hot air you have no moral authority to even speak or question my integrity or my character you understand so and people that I work with at a council before or after I am not changed it's the same nene I hold people to account regardless of who is involved it's not about individuals it's the issues and I advocate for people-centered issues not individualistic things. I don't do that. It's not to my interest because nobody butters my bread. You know, kuma ham ne man suma ganaw bandang. You know what I mean? Dogo ma yakaruma ken pour anything else. At all, ganaw yalla suma mun ak suma dole lay jefo. So man sugar ko tuma pour neexal ken for anything else. Man ma taxaw Bantaba fi ma wax ko. Man amut ken ko xamne ragal na la wax diga ngir ling ma jox o ling ma amel o ling ma defaral. Gannaaw yàlla ragaluma ko kenn maa ko wax biir Bantaba su dee kenn foog na ne man damaa dogo sa gannaaw o am na lu tax lu ma la doon waxal ngir loo ma amal o lu ma laa wax génn seen nga wax ko shut me down so man dama ragalu kenn gannaaw yàlla loo xam ne jaruta wax dama dee noppi waaye loo xam ne affaire askan bi la suma business la dama koo wax lu ci cabinet jàmbur nag suma ngaña newu ci lijjantew ma ko and what I said was clear a whole report you understand man dama ne man Talib Bensouda dafa barke te yaayam daf ko jur fam ko war a julee parce que lu ñëpp def dinañ du mooyu ñëpp seen bos waaye comme que dañoo njëkk a xool ndax am na T am na A am na L am na I am na B woo all hell is gonna break loose you know what I mean man I feel that it is injustice on him I feel that it is undone, and that is what I was speaking on. Not even the substantive issues, because Parliament you're getting a report. Bindanguñ anybody else to validate, okay, this has been done and we are deciding, because it is a process. When the report comes out, they officially write to these people to tell you, okay, as of the adoption of the report, you have this number of days to answer to this or do this or do this. So the report is out, it's authentic. We also, like we criticize every other report. How much a problem, you understand? But my issue here was, why would you keep a blind eye on every other, the office of the president, the accountant general, the parastatal, but everybody else was talking about KMC. I don't even have an issue, and I'm not disputing that it did not happen. The auditors queried something that happened. KMC is not denying it. I am not denying it. It's a factual query. You know what I mean? But why would you want to crucify, not even KMC, because KMC comprises of thousands of people, Walker, but the crucifixion was meted on one individual, Talib Ahmed Bensouda. I feel it is unjust, it is undone, it is bias. That is what my complaint was. And that should stop. Let's hold everybody to account. And my thing was, you're talking about KMC, the paper, because nobody didn't read. The paper said it was about 40 million queried, but KMC did the needful until the amount is now about 7.6 million. Yeah. They did not say the Talib ate the money. They did not say the Nene ate the money. They said the Buba ate the money, but they said these were things that they queried because it could not be substantiated. They did not answer to the queries.
Yes.
You know what? That was it. They did not say that nobody ate it because this was a full-fledged audit. They did not say that anybody took the money or did it, whatever. So you read it. Give it time. Question, but don't accuse. Question, don't vilify. Don't castigate. And that's what we also on social media. And that's what I am saying no to then. I'm saying no to that now. And I will say no to that tomorrow. It doesn't matter who it is. If it's you or anybody else, I will condemn it in total. Okay. And that's my position on that.
All right. Talibo mune metela reaction ode.
Yeah, lo balale kumol men fotaje. Ile bali ya kumol lem. Même bi je dro wala ñindi ko talibe abama man adama ba man dingulu. Mo be fana bay dingulu le. Ya famle ni be kachara.
Bari yalo ite to man tara social media me fengo feng iko talibo andong ite be government ibe government support la corruption mean government be Kiang mol ma fo mol bu ka wo fo
nene be nyum folale bi mba
folale ko kana fo
ibe mu ne pat la sila
ndema fo ko I am particularly because of the injustice
ibe mu ne pat la o ta tinan la itala nyum kumo ta tinan la bay atati nan da molta fola
okay so
in platform to jang ni issue men natan ko la kacha wolum
okay just go ahead
be ñine ko kacha ka wolum bi
nga fo ko mom kana fo
ma fo yolo fo
so munati ne be wo fakan
bari tabe même fo ka baay di wulu ka fo e fana mol fana baay di wulu
bari munati nga fo aba wul parce que même men kata ñin contribute to e be mol be bula ka tole fo
o to tonya wala ti nga wala fo ito ko dole to ta fo la jang
okay say mu ne metela reaction o di talibo
metela reaction o men di wolam ñindi ko men ba kis ka ya dang bondi mol yalon ko tiñaro ñi be laring al halo mento ay kis ay funti commune dol taka ke nyame aman sakunda rimbang aman sakunda ba feo fendi ni atar ko yebulo chodi jela e ko senen dilo tije bira député bunko no lombang fa min to tolom abe senea modi alon ko jomani le bije nkana ñoo fek jang wala mu kuti me alon ko abe sabatri bi yañum plateforme ko jabe men nak mo foka wala mu talbe Ahmed Bensouda ni atar ko ala dulato je man no le bije a fons follow si fudda sa fu no le bidang ya kisi na dara ko balanda fana ita kitola ya jibe abe min do ma fona ina be kol nyini kono bari kana nyomuta komin na be nyinna karola nyanta tintin na wala baake bar na be fona karola nyanta yompala wodulato le o fere to ko ka o nyori nyokoto pour ka nyo fasa wala nyanto la bulala o daji ka sifal surtout tel ben be plateforme ko ngatar diamla ade men ye fal don di nyanto lu bundal kuna kem sibe mon la nyanto lu kuna ni mon la nyanto be tinya kan je nyanta tiol nyanta fundale ye diama ko la men nyanta senen la ya senandi ndel bolo foka kay to la fundita kuma kan fundita abe bulu je ni telle ata ye mon la ko do la ta ni mata fanan walam
okay MC
jërëjëf Buuba
but it is wrong for talibe tale funtita mo jama tale
bi jang me wala kacha kanja afundita jang bubale afundita jang bubale afundita
my
jang
point is
wala
don't just
kacha kan
segregate,
kudama la
talk
kacha
about
jang
everybody else
ibo represent arabaro la polo fo kanjang
again we know about the
For
people
President Arabaro
that are talking about
Moment
it.
that President
We know
Obama
where they
doing.
belong, we know their interests, we know the interests they serve.
alka kamfa
So that's
alka
why.
mo support alka kamfa fal katinya
Kamfa ante kamfa.
ikamfa dale ikamfa dale
okay talibo
adu ni mo dole mi sabbi wele yela degree
I
ni
can
fo
be
ko
angry looking so
sai
fabulous,
talbe me
wearing
alon ko
some
wala al
thousands of
tombo
dollars of
ala saji
material
malayandilal
on me and be angry. Oh no.
ala
no,
saji
no,
malayandilal lem unity so ni talbe bulo ma tendoro me ko hera
Munelan.
mune yene de yaral talib harame mune suñu ko laalé rek so you do the same reaction
So atelebe barola ni sol kantala. Bien ni sol father.
ala wulo men ko mo wontel ko le kanta ala wulo
Mune woti.
wulo
Luy wulo?
haj
Oh
Mune
shoot.
haj
I can't measure up.
yes wala mu
At least people eat what we
ite nganya ta
wear.
meo koma soko president ite be nganya la president meo koma iba fa sala to nyata dami soko to president
Okay.
na diata nye fon si nyapi kan
MC go ahead
Yenye pijuma kan.
ite
you got no summary go ahead MC go ahead
jërëjëf Buuba dégg naa sa wax bi foog naa ne ñun ban den am problème Gambien problème bu ñu am mooy ñu yuuxu di wax anti corruption or transfer accountability gëmuñ ko because dafa nekk report bu nga xam ne is almost 100 and something people moo fa nekk boñ la am na yu nga xam ne 1.5 billion dollars bu nga xam ne ay chèque yu nga xam ne dañ ko cancel waaye dañ génne xaalis bi from the central government Farawa incident bi 18 million dollars bu nga xam ne ñi dañ ko fay victimes yi seen victimes yi kenn xamul ñan lañ ko fay gisul numbers yi gisul seen numbers yi xamul seen tur yi mu ngi si report bi am na councils yu nga xam ne sax even report sax joxewuñ ko FPAC si am na councils yoo xam ne defuñ loolu waaye dañ jël benn bu xam nga taxpayer money even dalasi sax nekkul lu ndaw because dama gëm ne suy dalasi sax nekkul lu ndaw waaye 7.6 million dalasi boobu FPAC ñu laa wax ne since 2017 la ba 2021 2017 Tali Benso la nekkul mayor mu ngi ñëw mid na of 2018 suñu report bi 27 interim committee moo fa nekkoon.
MC hani
bu nga xam ne it was appointed because by the president.
Abdoulaye
interim president moo fa nekk 27 Tali Benso mu ngi ñëw mayo 2018.
Mu ngi weddi lu mu xam.
2018 la ñëw mayo.
man xam naa de
lu ma war a ma ko xam.
man xam naa de men fana mbake ka yàlla ne ka men ngin kare
interim committee
so fo
ñoo fa nekkoon 2017 ba mid of 2018 la mayo nekka mayo lii dafa nekka dafa am lu xew mooy récit bi nga xam ne lu waroon a jox to the FPAC jamono boobu diggante bi dafa amoon transition dafa amoon transfer of staffs so ñu war a summit 40 million la woon ñu somme mu des 7.6 million so time bu gaa war a dem si FPAC pour joxe report ci documents yi ñu ne am nga audit dafa am time audit laa jox juree soon ne time bi da nga war a somme sa document soo ko somme dañ ko dee close soo ñëwee seen laa wax ne close nañ ko but right now with liggéey bu baax bu nga xam ne KMC respect ngeen doomi KMC mooy bu coow bi amee bu FPAC bu report bi génnee officiellement bi nu cancel right now bi daagul cancel ne waaw lii ak li xew bu ko noo ma ne war a bind council mën a door react bu ko dañ jox duration of 30 days pour council mën a reply some of these documents moo si mbir yàlla ak transfer accountability mu xapu ne bu ñu gisee report bi lu ñu def moo dañ call emergency meeting on Monday nee na is part of the committee board committee account and finance committee man maa ngi account committee nekkuma fi sax man moo demoon Sénégal ñu amee emergency meeting bu amee emergency meeting ñu gis yàlla dimbali all the lu gaay complain yëpp ñu ngi ko amee intact all the receipt yëpp mu ngi am.
the missing
yëpp mu ngi am intact yëpp mu ngi am.
Actually, it's not missing.
They
submitted it lately.
But
the report was closed at the time they submitted, so it couldn't have been fractured. So it was missing, because of time being lent. Again, KMC will take fault because of they did not respond in time. Exactly. So that is also KMC's problem, because they should have done that in time. So at the time they do it, the report was closed. But it's not like it wasn't.
KMC so KMC fi ñu jël fall because the director of finance ak finance committee bi ñoom ñoo woon a yóbbu loolu on time but time bu fu ñu ñu accept responsibility ne lii xew na mistake suñu side la kon tey coow bi du am because yëpp mu ngi intact waaye time bu nga xam ne leen jox time bu moo late but ba tey we assign di naka di CEO because all the documents yëpp all the receipt yëpp mu ngi si commission bi right now CEO bi na commission bi ne den soxla original because we have the naka yun amee ne ko original copy si.
It's
photocopy la so photocopy doo ko mën a display ñu ne ana original bi so we write back to the commission ne den soxla documents yi from there ñu mun koo jox FPAC mun a oote press conference wax ak waa KMC wax ak Gambien si ne documents yaa ngi nii. bon missing document amut. wala ma gëm ne Gambie dafa am problème bu am mooy soo independent nga mënal sa boppa rek am nga problème. fii lu ñu góom mooy ngaa dogo di dem si kaw nit ñu la amee xaalis di la amee essence yow loolu nga bëgg ne di nga góom ne politicien dafa war a ñàkk loolu la gaxamee si ko di nga góom ne politicien dafa war a ñàkk so loolu lañ góom so dañ góom ne wala dañ góom ne ku xamee ne am na doylu na independent na war a dugg si politique soo dañu ne waa élégi waruñ dugg si politique waruñ jox gaay power fii Gambia suñu président yëpp from Jawara ba Adama Barrow ñëpp si pauvre famille lañ jógee teel a baadoo léegi naa sona Jawara fan la jógee fan la yaay ji ma jógee si ban famille la jógee Adama Barrow mu nekk président këram mënu ko amul collègue dafa nekk base ba tey baadoo yaa ngi naa sona warum gëm ne waa tey nga xool si ministre si ëppa yi tey si kaw bi la gaa jógee pour ñu am ndox bu ko sa problème la pour ñu am yow sa problème la board mu dama gëm ne suñu accountability and transparency dafa war a nekk across the board bon lu nga xam ne 1.5 billion central government mu ngi ne pam lu nga xam ne loolu tey mun naa transform fu ma dëkk Ibo Town loolu kenn ko du ko wax wala ni ngi focus wala sant yàlla man dama de gërëm loolu dama kontaan si loolu fu léegi ñu door di compare KMC ak central government man dama kontaan kon man lu taxoon ma xeex xar ma tànki tibe fu ñu re-electali benn suda man kontaan naa si because tey gis naa ne tey loolu tey KMC egg na fa nga xam ne léegi ñu ngi ko compare central government astagfirullah loolu laa gis ba ko énergie boo xam ne ñu ngi koo pousse lu mu war a focus su mu war a pile wala wax naa ko fi nee ne ma ne ko day wàññi yow nee na bu wala ko fi ma ne la am na ñu day yuuxul si miir xoolal ñuy wax mbiri KMC nii bi nag KMC ñan la last mayor élection ñoo doon binaat KMC ñoo doon against the mayor fabriquer allégation tout man la ko wax ne ko KMC wala waa KMC ñu ne dañuy jox absolute majority 56% lañ jox
war président fa na candidat la KMC
élection bu nga xam ne musuta am si history Gambia bu nga xam ne dañ jël ministre for the first time since independent ñu ne ko bàyyi sa ministry bi nga ñoo taxaw candidate very good candidate la nga ici kon tey kooku tey loo munti wax si mbiri tuumal loo munti wax si mbiri tuumal ñun dañ gëm ne ñu ngi si yoon bu set la nekk
thank you so much
élection bu nga xam ne tey loo xalaat def nañ ko fi bon kon KMC dañ am
ina na boytale KMC
lu am mooy
ina na gagnita mool fana nena bu gagnita jëlee boy te jëlee
lu ma wax bu wa
sayang
wala politique
bu wa dem na ñëw yëpp
talibé be siri ya président Barrow gagnita ñaara jël
dem na ñëw yëpp leen welcome ne lii ñu dañ si kontaan ak council bu mu ñëwee ñu xam ne la ñoo amee committee bi, both the accounts and finance committee bi, with the CEO, with Director of Finance, experts, because committee bi am nga expert bu fa nekk. Account admin expert, finance admin expert.
So the issue is resolved.
Resolved nañ ko right now. Bino nañ to di commission bi.
Commission global la leen albe male.
Mu jox nu naka documents yëpp.
Original
documents yi. Ñu mun ko soumettre to FPAC. Mun a ote press conference or bina press release all the documents yu ko xamee la citizen of KMC nga. Am nga ray ñëw si council bi ne dama soxla document yi ñu won la ko. Ñu ragalum dara.
All right.
Si nguur leen nekk. Jërëjëf.
Thank you. Ablay.
Jay Gambia. Buru foofu ko farñe.
This is reassuring because what is there on the public space or social media generally is this is what happened and so on. But then the insiders here, what actually happened, and I'm happy that they have taken the fault. They did not submit these things, you know, based on the required time and so on, and that is their fault. And that's leadership. You have to accept when things actually happen. That okay, and that is it. So that is something that we commend them for. We say Talib and his team, the entire KMC should do better, should try to do better. But the fact that Kidafa confirmed all that has been missing is not even missing. It was late submission. They have it, and then they have written to make sure they show it to the committee and so on. Lolu is very, very good. And the other thing is, I think they should not allow such to repeat. Because generally what happens is, you know, it's difficult to be a politician in the Gambia, to be frank with you. Yes, because people want to know everything about you and people want to say everything about you. Sometimes based on wrong conclusions. But the fact that these were late submissions and they agreed that they could have done better, that is reassuring. The other problem in this country that we need to fight for, which I know we will come to, but I like is, for example, the vetting of ministerial appointments. To avoid some of this, the Gambia has an architecture problem, a design problem. You see, even if we bring angels to this country, we will have a lot of problems. The problem is, we are not designed to grow as a country. We are not designed to grow. We did that deliberately because we inherited a very bad system and still we continue on that. And that is why we need to change that. And that is the more reason we're having a lot of things that are coming on leadership, integrity, and all those sort of things. You see, Buba, if you want to go to Basse within, let's say, 2 hours, you cannot use a car that is not designed for that. You need a car and you need the road, the infrastructure that is designed for that. As we speak, look, it is clear now, it is not even 2018, this is 2017 coming. So that tells you, if the system that is there, the infrastructure that is there, the frameworks that are there cannot support a certain system, it will be difficult for you to measure up against time, for you to speed up. We have a design problem as a country, we have to accept that. And that is why even if you become president, if you don't change the way the system is, it's going to be difficult for you to do anything meaningful. Because the structure is so bad that, come on, this house is designed, for example, for a bungalow. You want to have 7 decks. It's not going to happen. That is the problem. But it's assuring for me, I don't know for others, but that they accept that they got late submission. They must submit Juna when we talk for lady. That is fine. They should do better. But the Gambia generally should do more.
But I'm about to get something to you. MCB mem fo kanja
ba ito konto ka opposed le on
ane madu dro ila madu be sembentu yalla madu ha ila gin kachaji ya yen sembentu yalla ye hani ila fo be sembentu yalla fa be sembentu yalla.
Okay, go ahead, Talebo.
KMC nyanta menkela kabri ni ya lon ka fo yela house ke in order nyinte be lala ko la jannati na si jamfam ila PRO bi jele ye funti ye press release ki
Definko
ya kele press release okay yo kele okay very good so left jele sembende natre wo manke Definko don ba fala nun ke MC alafta ni yola jila jam
non man
yes okay
man mo si korego dama ne korego
dal be la side okay ani
thank you okay all right thank you so much thank you so much so midan luntango yale straight nabe kachala of course about the draft constitution or after spending saying $1 million came for sile are rejected honorable munatina ale draft 2024 draft constitution or reject?
Buba baraka bake law ñinin karola iko kule ma me alon ko kuma ya bakel nembe dende na bankola wa bola dali warata bu ko be banko kan député bu ngona na si doku kunna luwa bu ko doku le kuma ya beti andum maralo kake luwandin na luwa o luwa la banko la luwa bu ko constitutional kuma ya beti so wakamala kuma ya bakere ni ibe luwa men dedala pour même nyanta banko dingol marala ate banko dingol damma marala abe isoto fengo marala abe man satalla en na nemol fana mendinna abe wol fana marala our natural resources amba na nafulolu na fengo ferending nimmol ye nyotonye luwa men be o maralal même fongol be marakan luwa men nyanta kafo nyanta kam mara nyaadile nyanta kam soto fengo mara nyaadile nyanta ka tilinte ma nyaadile wom kuleta kuma yata bakele ni wo bina moya jube mune fennu be o kono ela ñinin karo e mendi to ñala luwa bu ko ñin ñin tenen tambila julay karo tiri worowlo man sakunda ya nati député bu ngotole ko manto men bina me sanje kelinsi ye luwa bu ko nati député bu ngoto en safa ya gasetle atara man table député bu ngoto folo because ni ya gaset wala ñinte ko man sakunda ñanta ka sayne pour ka dundi ya samba ye printing ke GPPC anda ya dundi pour ka je ko kari saba ñaato e ñanta ni ya gaset ñanta lan la député bu ngotol so gaset loni mbite ma siata sanje kelintir so ya landi député bu ngoto o fana e carte d'identité sila o fana bina sanjo sila pour nga jube so atara janni wotema loi bu ko ñing mbe alone maralobe kere loi men wala mu 1997 constitution odi ya jamme loi me alon ko abe marakangala num sanje muannim fula kono ngaje ko kujamal lebe je men alon ko falinta je kujamal lebe je men alon ko ino nyanda ke falinne pour ka banku dingol bi ke marano ngaji ko loi tinya jamal be ke kanje o loi bu ko e sembo men di mansala sembo warta bakele katambe banku dingol la so ngaji ko wutabe kummala la kaw loi nyin jube natara no man wo loi kilinal falinno bari se loi nyin be jube to do an entire overhaul of the constitution pour ka buka kuto nati kadi banku dingol la ni haklo bakam kabri man sakunda sita 26 you know Minister for Justice Menkera Batambiru
yeah.
I proposal locally I below present to National Assembly pour ka CRC Constitutional Review Commission pour ka constitute and the Constitutional Review Commission constitute ye molu jube to jigta ko menni ye loi lonne you know they are constitutional lawyers, they are constitutional experts, you know kawol jube ke kafu nyoma pour ye loi kuto pour yade da banko banko fana ye nafulo dapansi o constitutional review commission loi le fana yewol fana londi they were established by an act of parliament so ayo below established the parliament ya fole e nyanta ka jo nafulu nanka momen na parliament yo be fole o be katra below nyin konole e nyanta ka mol nyinin ka nyaadile saterin sate ba bantaba pour ka futaje ka banku dingol be nyinin ka Gambia anin Gambia bantala pour kana kaytandi mol lako aliyambula do ko menna nyina mu reportoti banko dingol ye nyine fo dendin keba musu kafurin ke meya fanno memma fanno nafulti fuare ye be nyinin ka hani men yalon ko almatu lanye lanju tolu ke be nyinin ka la nyanto mineti dina o dina ke be nyinin ka pour saje e kana dina killing tonye dina doli banko kan wali yol bekele yo submit man sakunda ya atew man sakunda kilingo wolle nata ye bilo ye CRC report nying that white paper janni ba fala iba député ibe assemble the National Assembly pour ka constitutional nying table for the first time minister jele funtita ye disagreement okay the content of the bill. Presidential advisors disagreed on the content of the CRC report. Ministers disagreed on it. be jalayroje pour ka je ko ñimu buklete me alon ko natale pour ka président barole target pour ka la nyanto tinya ka je ko amanyanna ala tam follow me alon ko aya saf député ya e mansaya kono pour ko fanan kontige on président barole nyanto la tinyalati andum fana o mu toñerolde damma pour wala ya tinna fengo fen kuma kendo men bebe o buku kendo kono men bebe kalisar nga be kende yaring banko dingol la nyanto ni la nafa ka basic ka fay banta nafulo men tinyata kun nante buka query baake wala because nafulo nying ni nata jebe 100 million plus we are talking about 100 billion plus me alon ka tinyata man sekunda on corruption. So I'm not talking about, we are talking about 1 billion. So 100 million spending on that constitutional review commission, they are looking at that. But I'm looking at hadama dingol ye mirol menka pour kaje ko nyanta lafta ka maratenne nga one single interest le jibe wala minto ko president term limit wala ya tinna ko because ka fay banta, and president was happy with that and jubilated with the members of the parliament. Many alonko they rejected that. So yeta si few years later yeta si wo buku kilingo nyi ya jibe many alonko wol mete febo je yewol bondi je ani yite lafta many alonko wolle bete febo le yewol ko buku kilingo nyi ka ye murina banku dingol ko lafta menna ite ko man la fi wala yew fay bari ite lafta menna yew impose banku bu, but that's not possible. Hadama di yala miro to wote kenola jannim bina ka foko content menni ba kono menni yalon ko man bete amena ngari jek miro fango be danta wolto pour ka je ko banko dingol manya na sonnawol hanna danta damala we cannot agree with that. Constitutional building mu fennete me yalon ko akoleata bakela manke Gambia banko damma.
Now what people are saying is 2020 mu atolle atina o failed like in 2020 because you people we are also fight about this retroactive thing. And there were negotiations with Goodluck Jonathan. According to the Information Minister, Dr. Ceesay on behalf of CA at the time, it was only Dabo who said no. But they were ready to compromise. But Dabo was the only person who said no. This 2020 draft. After spending, that was a negotiation with the Goodluck Jonathan.
That's the 2020
draft.
Janika nati for anarim kola.
Anarim kola.
Okay.
Yeah.
Poor. Natara Ismaila kole ntatale kachada. Janibe luwa buko nyin natila. Pour nga consensus building ke. Pour saja nim buko nyin nata. Asatara nga political consensus sort. Constitution is a political document. Man, the political party nyandaka engage sufficiently a consensus building ke. You cannot have everything. You understand? But woman ke constitution nying tambiring kolalem Ismaila kanyinfo. So that's irrelevant to me. Natar nu janni woka kele tara consensus building a mulbe sonta. Dabuda ma balanta. I could come in to say janna be fenkala den dabonyo latina filter. But o firing kola bantalem. Dabudama, what sense does it make? A bill that has been thrown out. So you are telling me how could a post discussion affect a prior action? I don't know. That's an irony, Buba. It doesn't make sense.
If my memory serves me right, I think the engagement or that consultations in-house in the Gambia and in Nigeria happened prior to it being tabled and rejected.
No, it was after.
The Nigeria trip.
Yeah, the Nigeria trip was after. The Nigeria trip with Goodluck Jonathan. Goodluck Jonathan started the consultations after when it was rejected. They had a session in Nigeria, and he was here too. Yeah.
So I'm coming for you.
I stand to be correct, but I felt that consultation happened prior. But I stand to be correct.
No, I know that there was a discussion in Nigeria.
It's a while now.
Which party leader attended. After the bill has been thrown out.
Okay.
I know that very well.
Okay.
But malum fo kacha dol fanan ketale bang. Janni ba fala bilo nyimbe fayla banda. But ngaklo be kacha do kanne menni keta pour ka jeko iba keno la nyaadi la pour ka bilo nyim murindina bilo nyim firing kola banda. You understand ngawlon. So but niko ase ngamenke on Monday ase influence no I can have reservations on that. But niko men keta nung janni kacha nyimbe kala. I cannot understand that one. And let me tell you one thing. Ntol tata kachala le deputy ol. Ning Dr. Ibn Chambers. Sinya fula ning Goodluck Jonathan. Fanan kachala le Gambia jam. Deputy ol ndama. Pour nga compromise ke nyoy. And we almost struck a compromise. Pour que Jeko, President, a fait ça avec Sanji Tanekala. Constitution of Fabina, Alain Sanji Lulabon kono fatna kono. But say na tara Sanji Lulo men kono, or Sanji Lulo ning, wobe kontila, but Sanji Lulo men tambita, Walter Contilla. Deputy will form better than a compromise strike. President Supreme Islamic Council Bejel. President Christian Council Bejel. Gender activists all Besir in jail. Majority leader Beje, minority leader Beje. Deputy will be Kambenta. Nga bundal jibe member dending citizenship la banko di ya nyantol banko di ya kaitol nga bundal jibe member dending 50+1 nga bundal jibe member dending mansa kewla time limit la fo nga kambe ngo soto wol kono pour ka jeko ni Allah ta because nintol tata fo la bango yaje ko minority leader ni UDP député wol kambenta fango ferendin isalon ko woto be UDP bulle
yeah
because ntol buka si kula ko me alon ko ay banko dingol affect la adum political ko le me alon ko a sensitive tale aya tara num abe party affect la aya tara num consultation manke
so I'll agree to pour baro kanata more than 10 years
ma fa kanata more than 10 years yeah. But agree to men na wala nyinti ko abe sanjilu labango nyim men kono science wobe kontila le but sanjilu lo men tambita wote kontila so hani president wala député wala be kambenta wala woto wala president be nyanto sotla aylo kotan ka carte fayola
in
2026 nalo ta be kala ko ay sanji tanni lulle ke man sayara bari komen ko akana ta pour ka sanji mo wanke mata because ko nga jawara kele wala nga ya jame kele wala so nyille mu tafundol to men yalon ko mbeta ta fonga consensus bill wolto
so I'll agree to wala what happened
so agree to wala man it will respond mo woto dron 1 month later dron nga moy constitution kuto gazette constitution kuto me alonko falendirol men kata je a tambita falendiri keme falendiri muanna
26 year I think 26 changes
126
year 126
wannan ko men tambita falendiri keme falendiri muanna
126
fellata o kan so wayatande ko jamfaabe kuwol konal oto nga men agri oto obe mol dalle to ta mantara sondo molto adu menni fanan nata fali kono tumando se compromise strike no demande bari menni fanan nata fali kono wala mu fennel te men yalla ko ni o bondi buko kono to ya tinyale wala mu bu harbe ko ni hadama di won ni o bonda kono a jato katala lari ne bar na faaw na fatal wannen kata muta nga fi nga ke dinko kono because nabe lari nyo fona tolta na fata tarlala
so what they were saying is like Ablai made a very interesting point. Ablai Ceesay of Honorable Ablai Ceesay of Olundum. In 2020, you were convincing him ko alba convince kandeno mil benunji in the 5th legislature. Iba foka enunko al carte of a draft na tambita iba jela we can amend. So they are telling you also, okay, now nyin draft do nyille anati amam perfect we agree, but nga carte of I tambi na tambita iba jela ko we are able to amend some of these things. And in that committee, I understand ko minority more lesiata or committee. Why didn't you allow that?
Buba abekela banko e nafu tinyalde yaji eteka eko 200 million plus has been spent now on a single constitution. When that bill is passed, it is going to be referred to a committee on constitutional matters.
Yes,
Human rights and constitutional matters will be referred to them. They must, and that is a must, go for benchmarking and look at other legislations across other countries. It should not be less than 2 or 3 legislations in Bemen Jibel, because we are moving from from a governance to another governance. We want to get that entire overhaul of a system. We are bringing in a new legislation to take charge of the affairs of the new breeds of generation, and issues have changed. So they must look at other legislations and see what prevails in those countries. Whether some legislation whether they are actually practicable.
So looking at the money that will be spent.
Yeah, the money that will be spent later will be quite huge. Do you understand? And atakela odamati. The reason why Antolman you'll trust, you know that one? You have seen the tourism petition that came to National Assembly. When that petition came to the floor of Parliament, they saw the truth and they stood on a broad daylight and against those things. Evidence were brought before the committee. You have seen those things. They voted against that. We struggled to bring it back. One person who brought in difference was Salif Jao of Jokan, who abstained and refused to vote, and that gave us the power over them. Otherwise, they would have withdrawn
the
that
entire
out.
National Assembly, he was the only one.
He was the only one
who did not come.
He
did not come last
did not
month.
come this.
He
He
was
is
not there.
genuine. And
he seems to be a very principled person, and he's an
attacked
NPP
him on the
supporter.
floor of Parliament.
Is it NPP or NRP?
It's NPP.
He was a GDC,
Yeah.
Ahmad Ba attacked him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Minister for Lands attacked him. Why he abstained on the floor of Parliament. He was mad at him. He told him, it's my right to either vote or not to vote. You cannot dictate that as a minister, despite the fact that I'm in the same party with you. I don't know, for whatever reason, he didn't come to Parliament on Monday.
Yeah, because he voted against this constitution.
Exactly.
He cannot come again.
So let me tell you some
in
of those
2020
proofs.
he was there.
Let me tell you some of those proofs.
Yes.
Budget allocations for the president. They allocated 25 million, 30 million for the president's, meets the people talk on the draft budgets 2 or 3 consecutive times. When we submit proposals to reduce, they disagreed and their disagreement stands. Do you understand? You talk about the petroleum saga we are talking about. We wanted to debate on it on the very day we led the report. They said we referred it. No one knows whether they are going to frustrate the process to refer it to a longer period of time. And we voted on it, and there are no stands. Anything that we vote on that is on simple majority, these people will take it. Let me tell you, even if we push these people to the last end, because even to pass the constitution to the 3rd reading, for it to be a law, is still 3/4. Even to go to that level, they are going to be humiliated because they will not agree on anything. It's going to be a waste of resources and a waste of time for the country. And we cannot subject ourselves to that because we know them. And we are, mind you, these people are capable of giving anybody $2 to $3, $4 million to bring in this law because it's going to protect them post their government's era. This is what it is going to do. So they are capable of doing anything. So for us, we do this thing on principle and we stand by those principles. People must have observations as to we could have allowed it to go to have Barrow spend more than 20 years or 25 years, but another president that comes in is going to start afresh. But we took out Barrow, Jammeh, through a political force that was very powerful when there was no time limit.
The same can happen.
The same thing can happen if we have a serious opposition. An opposition that does not look at selfish interests and individual interests, but look at interests of this country, we can take out Barrow 2026. So even if Barrow is going to spend only 5 years, but there is no accountability and transparency, we cannot vet our ministers, we cannot sit them before the floor of Parliament, like what happened today. This minister who is newly appointed would have come to the floor of Parliament. We have a special select committee or a committee on foreign affairs to vet him, to vet his documents, to vet his integrity, to vet his track records as to when he was serving as a minister of defense for that to happen. But President single-handedly has done that. Nobody has power over that. These are some of the principles we were trying to query.
Interesting. But as a National Assembly member, what do you think should be the way forward as far as the constitution is concerned now? Amend the 1997 constitution or another constitution or the 2020 constitution?
If I want to go back to history, because this is why in the National Assembly, when I came newly, but I tried to limit it because I cannot label much on the past. When a lot is happening today, I cannot correct. You understand? This is why now we'll limit a little bit. You understand me? So mentam beta that has passed. But man sakundanya ndaka menke purka luwa bu kuto nati molia. Ni lafta natara they are serious. Term limit, they are serious about it. 50+1, they are serious about it. As they were serious in 2018 to amend age limit, to amend, members of the parliament to retain their seats even if they are sacked by their party leaders. Let them bring an amendment on those things. We are going to accept it. If President brings it and he advises his members, we are going to support it. But are they going to do that? Not that they are serious about term limit. They are serious about 50+1. They are serious about those things. Let's bring amendment. Wallahi, opposition
2020 for draft, so they are scared that the president will not have any power. That's what they're saying. They're scared that the president will not have any power.
That's a propaganda.
2024 draft constitution. aning 1997 ni ye fulo leyte ibe jomal tala.
I cannot choose between the two.
You cannot choose between two bad things, maybe. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying I cannot choose between the two. I accept the fact that comme nga accept le ko 1997 constitution be marakan. You understand me? You know, andung mbe o loi le koto, adum mbe ko kurni kala banko ka nyanta katara o loi nyin le koto. Ngo accept le. Tumala me no be marakan. But nte nyum fulo nte fen accept no la fay.
Kile mo constitutional de kile mo draft letter. So
yes.
It's
not compare no.
So before Midanda Molkan, now on Tuesday, a year motion of pass le put diaspora voting and it was rejected. Muna na lafaka wonati no.
You know, almost no me alang lafaka nati. Wala mnyinte ko diaspora voting. Banko la loi somebody Gambia banko dingo bella. Wherever you might be, ye nyanto sot la pour ka carte o fay. Ibe dunia dinkiraw donde ye nyanto sot la pour ka carte o fay. Banko la loi wala itande. Wala ante na namo sono nyin kono. Nga Supreme Court ruling sambana njele. Membe denim Bibi Dabo case against the government. Supreme Court ruling. Supreme Court ye mem for. Ama fo IC ko ta diaspora ye banko dingo register jamo fo. Ay mem fo la minti ko banko di wo banko ding ebe dunia dinkirato ye nyanto sotle pour ka carte o fay pour que dake e nyoseyato kayla banko la nyato ko ka tombo Supreme Court ruling ye wolef you understand so saying but na banko la loi ko mem fo wala nyinti ko mbe act of parliament mbe wala sotla mem baytandi la ko na carte fa wala Kenya be kala kala nyaadi wala mu elections bill wala elections law elections act so mbe loi ngi ne jube kan loi me ya save ko ala tunkun tandin nan njaw clause 14 wala ya itandi ko IEC nyanta kata bantala bankol kanne ka Gambia dingol me alon ko momo si sanje tandin sesi kata santo asondo moya fateo fa pour ka carteo fay nyum banko kan pour ka wol fana be register je o banko la loi ke wala ya itandi ko momo randing ya lon ko isi yo sanje tansa basi kata santo ise saya nyi no nyim banko kana membe ko president ya so ye wala bondi buko nyin kono puruka because IEC has been compelled and commanded by the law to say travel. The constitution has not only given them the right, but the act is saying travel now. You travel, go there, register them, go there, coordinate election for them to vote, count their votes. That's what the law has been said. You will bondi buko kono. Clause 14. You understand? Pour ka moridina. And the tournament complain je ko constitutional ma allow because mabul Ntolbolo use kanjang dole argument mendi we cannot use paper ballot in other countries. That is not factual. There are countries where they have more than 2-3 voting system. They use what is feasible, whatever. Go to America, you have different voting systems. They use what is visible, what is feasible in whatever environment. And there is, so long as there is transparency, there is accountability, if it is applicable, you use that one. Some of them you will use. So you will bondi bukonyo. So dari lo mi atnante o muri na wala ngite ko. Pour que IEC compare ta. Ninse million nim présence ta no banko muru wala. Nga million mo ni lul allocate présent pour ay banko muru. A million tabu woro ni woro use kana banko muru for mix the people to having allocated 25 million for him and he used $66 million to go for mix the people so what is stopping the Gambians, the members of the parliament, to allocate 200 million to go outside this country, to register people, for them to choose their leader? People who remits. The remittance in this country is more than $1 billion in a year. People who remits that in this country. You deny those people that right because you cannot allocate 200 million to them. It doesn't make sense.
So what did they say? It was rejected.
It was rejected.
And I had the deputy speaker reading a portion saying that if you are considering, I don't know, you are in a consideration stage, right, of the elections this thing. So he said if you are considering, you cannot bring a motion.
Oh, of course you can bring a motion, and let me tell you, members of parliament will challenge it. Will come very soon, because some other people rejected that because of me, in fact, and because of our action against, the constitution on Monday, what I think if I am against, in fact, the majority leader Kabira deliberation, Kabira floater, I can for political sake. You understand? I don't want to talk about him here because Kabir constitution of debate.
But I'm doing it for politics.
I'm not. Wallahi, I am not. I need to discuss several times.
Yeah.
You know my interest for continuity in politics. I don't want to preempt that here.
That is right. That is right.
Several times we can discuss at personal level. You understand?
That's correct, yeah.
I don't want sustainability for myself in political atmosphere. Do you understand? So I'm not doing it for political sake. I want to serve somewhere better. Whether I am a member of parliament or not, I believe that I will be able to serve with integrity anywhere in the world, whether in the Gambia or not. You understand? So I'm not doing it for political sake or for United Democratic Party. I did it with good faith, and the people I worked that with are members of the government. Let me tell you, that motion I worked that motion with the members of the government. Wallahi lazim.
National Assembly.
National Assembly members of the government. I worked that motion with those people. And in fact, the minister stood in parliament during consideration and said, no legislation from the constitution or any act denied the diasporans from voting in any election. It's a matter of putting it in the law for IEC to go and register them, and we provide them logistics to go on.
It's just administrative and logistics.
It's just logistics. Minister said that. So I worked that out. So what I was trying to say, majority leader tried to highlight my level of illiteracy when he was deliberating. You could remember. I wasn't there. I don't want to talk much about that. Do you understand?
Your level of illiteracy.
My level of illiteracy because of my comments on the constitution.
You don't understand.
I don't understand issues of my level of illiteracy and all of that to try to demoralize me. But I don't care much about that because I spoke about the constitution. You spoke about me. You understand? So that shows the inability of the members of the government to advise and to negotiate for constitution. That shows how their inability is to convince opposition members. Constitutional building is about negotiation. It's about consensus building. If you are on the floor attacking opposition members, whom you should negotiate, whom you should talk to, so that you can come to a level to see that that constitution is passed. You're attacking them personally. It shows me their level of inability and inconsistency to convince the opposition.
So what was their argument?
Their argument?
Yeah.
About what?
About your motion. The reason why they threw it out. The reason why they voted against your motion. What was
Majority leader was the only person who spoke and said it was politically motivated. It was just politically motivated. I have done it for political sake. And I'm not sure I have done it for that. And I'm speaking with good faith. I'm speaking with what is resident in my mind and heart. I have not done it for that. But they've rejected. But I know that's not the reason why.
16 against?
Against 21.
21, yeah.
Yes, 21 voted for it and 21 against it. Yes. But all in all, that is parliamentary.
16 voted for it, 21 against.
Yes. Okay. So what I want to say, lastly, before you get to your panelists, for what people need to understand, parliamentary decision lies in the vote.
Yeah, that's right.
People need to understand parliamentary democracy. Parliament, it doesn't matter what, it doesn't matter how substantial you debate in parliament. Let you bring a Holy Quran, let you be a saint, let you be an imam or whatever. At the end of the day, the decision lies in the vote. So that's what happened in every other thing that we do. Some votings are absolute majority, that is 75%. Some votings are simple majority. But on votings where there is simple majority is what we have much more. So this way, when these people have an opportunity to throw this, to pass this bill with simple majority, we would have not gone to debate on it. They would immediately, the motion was read by the minister, they would have raised a motion for us to pass it to the next level without debate, and they would do that one. They do that fondly.
Yeah, because they did that with the budget.
They did that.
Yeah.
Budget for the first time in the history of this country since 1965. Yeah, Minister laid an appropriation bill in the National Assembly. The budget was not debated on. So these people are capable of anything. Yeah. They can commit a suicide.
Thank you so much. Then the draft constitution has been rejected. Yeah, that is the 2024 draft constitution. It's been rejected again. What is your reaction?
Okay. Again, this is not the first time we're talking about this constitution. It's been long. We started it from the 2020 draft, right? All the way to where we are right now. But first, let me quickly just comment. When you're talking about the budget, passing it without debating on it or whatever, I've always said it concerns me. Every year they come with a budget. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is you budgeted 15, it went to 30 for the presidential tour. But every time you realize that you budget 30, they spend, what, 66?
25 to 66.
Exact, 25 to 66. But again, it's like the way this budget presentation or tabling is, the minister does not come with actual expenditures, before tabling the other year's budget for the assembly to see what was approved, what was actually spent to justify what they're asking for the subsequent year.
We have that problem in the law because legislation, constitution gives right to National Assembly to appropriate monies for all the ministries, departments, and agencies. But we have a Public Finance Act that allows minister to be able to via. Do you understand? That allows minister to be able to via. So this is why in the budget, when you look at it, there is a budget line that is called the centralized services. The centralized services does not state exactly where the budget goes, that budget allocation. And what goes to the centralized services? It's hundreds of millions that goes to centralized services. So it has also given the power to the minister to via. Do you understand? To move anything from anywhere. This is why in my debate I said the budget session make no sense.
At all.
Because we cannot make a budget and approve a budget and minister now in turn have a right to move anything from anywhere and give anything to anybody. And the minister, in fact, the FPAC report you're talking about, minister violated that you people are not talking about. I'm not trying to vindicate the KMC for the 7 million, which is an audit query. People need to understand an audit query and, and what happened at the end of the day, whether it is missing or not. That's an audit query. You need to take out this paper to substantiate this expenditure. If you don't take out that paper, that is a query until you are able to substantiate that with a proven document of expenditure.
And they
this
give
will
you
happen
time.
in
They
that
give you
place.
time to do that.
Do you know, to give you time to do that? With the time, if you refuse to do that, you cannot substantiate, then that will prove that you have misused that money. That's what happened for the case of KMC. But you have seen it in the case of the environment. Even the Public Finance Act says, before the minister via, that environment request should come from the departments and agencies before Minister of Finance is able to do that. That's what the Public Finance Act says. But minister vied more than 60-something million dollars before, without the request of those people. And those people, those things were even vied without minister's approval. And the law said minister must approve without the finance minister's approval. All those things happen. This government is doing a mess.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah, because again, like I said, it just goes to attest that a lot of people did not read this report.
Yeah.
A lot of people have not read it. You just saw three letters, and then you jump. Because I have read it, and I've really picked on all those things, which are very, very important, which is your business, everybody's business. Even that person in Kabada, it's their business that was done, you understand, and not the right way. Because this system that you guys have, it's open for mismanagement, it's open for malpractice, it's open to corruption, and so many things which are not being checked. And again, it can be kept for a debate for another day. Yeah. But now, Constitution B, all I've said from day one, that 2020 has been super consultative. Again, it was not the perfect document that has ever emerged. It is progressive, right? Constitution building is that. But then, again, Mansuma main disappointment and frustration is that this perception and mentality and propaganda that's been peddled around that president has been stripped of his powers. And a lot of people also just grabbed that and ran with it and used that to campaign against it. I felt it was very dishonest and a cheap way to manipulate people's mind, to think that, oh, well, okay, they did disadvantage the president and blah, blah, and did. Even some of the National Assembly, if you have one-on-one conversation, you realize that this is what the mentality they have. Just because I support Buba, I want Buba to be empowered, and anything I'm told, not that I believe or I know, but anything I'm told that is going to strip Buba of the powers to moderate this show, I will go against that because I am supporting Buba. This is the mentality. It was so myopic and a lot of misjudgment. So at the end of the day, this is what they believed. And like you said, the process that they went to bring about the 2024 draft. We all know who were the drafters of the 2020 draft. Yeah. We all knew the processes that they went through to come up with the 2020 draft. We all know how much was expensed on the 2020 draft. And we all gave it our blessing from day one. From the time they were enacting the act to the whole process, to the end, to the submission, the tabling, and everything else. Of course, we all did not agree 100%. Ñun ñëpp am nañ suñ differences. Waaye ñun ñëpp suñ bëggee génne ku ci nekkaloon nanguwut, which means ne kayit sa du amaat. Kayit sa du amaat parce que man li ma d'accord su ma ko génnee kii génne bug ba jeex na. Kenn du d'accord. Waaye am na yoo xam ne ñun ñëpp dañ am pour d'accord. Ñu expect ne as we go, we can make those things better. Why the bigger thing is, at least that constitution, the 2020, was a people-centered draft. It was. No matter what you say about it. Now, the news of 2024, and we've been asking that question. Where was it even done? I'm sure you all don't know. All you had is like you explained here, and now the manipulation. Already you are involved in a negotiation. You went to the extent of at least coming up with a compromise. A compromise or just to move ahead because of people are asking for it, right? You want to satisfy people's calling and interest. At that point in time, you are thinking, okay, when are we going to finalize that process? All of a sudden, boom, you hear that something has been gazetted. Does it mean that in time, being did that consultation, sir, that was being worked on? You did not know. Because it cannot be that quick. So Purman is absolute dishonesty and it's manipulation. Why would you even give me that impression that, okay, let's engage, we can get somewhere. Let's talk back and forth. Ndekete yen amna ci lolé neka. Kon yen sen consultation bobu nono, sen dialogue bobu, sen compromise bobu was not genuine. It was all shrouded with lies. It was all shrouded with manipulation and deceit. It was not honest and it was not genuine. Now let's move forward. Okay, Gazette named another one, and then definitely you have present Nenko. But then you see that they were claiming, okay, that 2020 stripped the president of powers. Forgetting the presidency, it's an office. It's not the individual. That provision or that they were attaching to one individual could have come back to affect me. Who says I don't want to be a president? Who says I'm not capable to be a president? But I was supporting it. It only takes an honest person to look beyond an individual and support the issue, knowing that it will affect everybody. And that is control. That is trying to build a foundation for system for posterity. But now, this particular one, it is blatantly clear. Blatantly clear. It was crafted. The Constitution, you read the provision, you can see at the Mabaro in every sentence, the dots, the Y's, the T's, you can see it all over from the preamble to the appendices. You can see him there. So which one is more individual-centered? And ruling what a whole, it's not about the individual. It's not about party. It's about Gambia. And again, you've said it. We talk about, like Syria said, we butchered 1997 54 times, right? But this one, you're telling me 126. Yes. So, you know what?
Before it become constitution.
We ain't got nothing on Yaya Jammeh. If we want to use that, we ain't got nothing on Yaya Jammeh. So where's the moral authority to question or chastise Yaya Jammeh on doing that? Again, not to hold brief, but we are speaking on the reality. Yeah. At the end of the day, what we see is we're not going to have another constitution going into 2026. Because of what we have, the time, we have to be realistic. It's possible. So what do we do? Now it's left to the citizen to know people who are there for their interests, people who understand the plight of the vulnerable people, people who understand the plight and hear the voices of the voiceless, the people who are crying, and ready to take up the mantle and fight to bring about right and just do it right for once for them. Okay. And that cannot happen anywhere, and anything can make that happen, but 2026 at the day of elections. Okay, Talibo. Now, quickly, the diaspora voting. Oh, yeah. I think it's dishonest for the majority to say you're doing it for political reasons. I asked the question, in the diaspora are only because you're from the UDP. Is it only UDP that lives in the diaspora that are going to vote? Should we allow the diaspora to vote?
No.
Because I have had a debate to say, oh, well, no. I'm support in the diaspora, as in the NPP.
Is that a question for them or me?
No, yeah, the NPP are claiming that they have more support in the diaspora.
They claim. I'm trying to say they claim. So if they claim they have more support in the diaspora, the plight of those supporters, members they have in the diaspora or the support, their plight, doesn't it matter to them?
You saw Ahmad Gita querying that these people do not have interest and regard for them as even party militants who resides in diaspora. Ahmad Gita said that fondly on his talk shows.
And they might not agree with him, but what he said is true.
So there is a lot of pretense.
Your time is coming.
So quickly, for the purpose of time, I think for me, I commend you. I commend you because you were not the one that tabled the bill. But there was one particular clause that you have found to be a blatant disregard and violations of their rights, and these are people who contribute immensely to the well-being and development of the country. You took it upon yourself to go back there, to plead and present and say, let's reconsider. But then again, when I saw it, it's not even about the substance of the clause. It's about, oh, you know what, on Monday, you did not agree with us. Now we have an opportunity to equalize. And it was just blatantly that. The guy maybe had nothing to say and say it's political, but I don't believe it's being political. He meant that. It was just a matter of tick for tack. You did this to us, now we have an opportunity to do the same thing. And they voted onto something they don't even believe, because majority of them, outside of the parliament, they will tell you how they want the parliament, the diaspora to vote. But when they go in the parliament, they have a principal, a master to serve, because that is what butters their bread, and they will just do what that person wants and nothing else. Okay. It's dishonesty.
Talibo, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, Buba. Ni mukula tume alonko mbela basolam. Gambia. Loi men nyantantol maral. Atete kili maral. Atente kili maral. Alafta mbele maral. O kom kula tume alonka ko akachani kumara bake. Yo bari ba harama de ulum mantima. Hani ala na sama bundan kan dew ala loi dol bi kan dew ay dol febo man dol febo at 2024 a 1997 lomba kula bi je même mo kontan adum bem Gambia Development so kacha o do même bul wala hakili ma yaati amanke fati fatoti amanke no doyati amanke no kelendoti nimbe ake mo kelendoti alisake nyola na me wata wati na me wata kano wati ba mbele tam Gambia de mota fula moy bujang bar ntenga benji be dibitol ben be dibité bunkono kabrin pour start na be 2017 dol ma fon kana problème mo ya woyna jere kana nan pour ka nyim duwal ni falim dibité kebana na ya foyela ji Halifa Sallah in 1997 constitution o ali nga dol wutu je nga dol cokkin cokki akono ay lebul ngata e ko hani loyangul lo mum tolti be nyimman sakundala kono ye tere loyangul nati ye nati itata e banko be mini e banko be mini bar banko be fana ma fo ko nale nyin kayto bang ala nale aba sambala député bu ko nale ya fo député le ko ala jibe par mo bul fen kana ma ke fo mo le o fay mo fay nyaaji nyim be keda e hanni tata e mo be murumburu ko le keta je men alon ka mo dol le fana kaliya so iyaje ka foko ibe contrôle mo le be contrôle kan indol fanan ko mo dol le be ni contrôle kan idata idun dañola ya budang mel se mo warda be wala ake wala talor indon fanan nata ya jibe député bunkono yin fanan ya jibe ka foko yin laftan kudala janne indol fanan ko ibe makate bayola ya fay nyamo ko ndaga mira ko biri ya fay nyamo ko nyanta sompe wala sambale la siran ko edin ko sinje nyin kay to blaje e kana kila bagol ko nyadi ba ite ko kuma kayte kuntawno mi babula kan dingol ko kara sama wan dingo kono dibite buñi na dingo ñin ko siran koto je ibe dingo sinda ya ki jele ya sare
wala ke kanan na fengo dula sinko ni mo la dula se be yeti
adu mbadu ya si ya ki je because même bi je wala ñi diko ndasi même fono 1997 ko so ngara ali na tawala ba nga député fon ñin ka ñin constitution fulo ni londi be jomale tala akate fentano lol kono
no ñin do make constitution oti
ani mbadu
so ite loi tala ni
ani
kan
no ila moy dron ya jeng ko loi le ye loi ya nat le plaque loi ko pour mira lolo ya understand ñin don bije bar ñin don ñaaje ba mira la ka fo ko ye fennat o to be ñin men ko wala man beta ko di so mbamba kana ñeni o jibe ba ete akarande ya kono to be jibe ñin don fanan kono to yobe jibe ko ñin do ni ñin don jomala fisata iko e fulo mu moyto fentalol kon
no ite lanola moy ka foko ñinni ñi be
ani non
la moy ñani mbolo be mal
fo membe laari ani mira ko memba kana si la no le mo keba
nta ko nta tatano
ite tatano ite la moya de un problème wala ti islam ko ñi dinkirato ite la moya am problème wala jow la mo keme wol men e carte o fayte kata député bun kono prier mira e fen kilinta ñi kono mo tano buba ngañin ko understand le ka drafo mira ko lati ibeñin sama kono ike mira jar sama fananal de foy bu ke mira wala so ni dabe ñin ko sunu ñon kono ko toral o mu torol ye ñin do na o to say ye ñin sabo be gondi je sray do fana nati ko take bawo tente kala tente tren fana de kala wala atnande adi amo ñin adenta kanya nan de kana karo ande ba kanya nan parce que même ba ko sunu be mbulu mi takala na ala fo janni ba fo la député kendol bi na la député bun kono ibe banko mirala billahi wallahi taala ni be motol takal do be kambenda ila motolu ibe kambenta wolum mo ma fo naflu jomale dun dañin ko kono be ka jele ko nteñanta soto la be ka fo nteñanta soto la de ibe président lo ko ñin tol men be fo kan ka fa aketa yalla président ma bala wala par moto ben dile tel fata foy wala no e balanto la ku ñi ma ani ku beto membe ni o sewla mo bu ko fo len takela barnabe do la karola ka fo la be kala im président tata midi people stola mo le ka fa jiyo kurang silo o bita kam mo yade woni o ko do jomala siar so mo nyanda men kala e politico bondi député bun kono ay bo je fereng ni ko MPP bay politico la UDP farambe politico la ñaton ko funtite jana ko ñin ko sono han ton di killing na mata je dron na molta sonna ad wala kat yawna sat ñin fanan ko amoy MPP ko la mol ka foko ni e president ni a wala detendi ay president ko je ibe di la politico la
so politico le be tamala UDP bole tamandi kan MPP bole tamandi kan
noto alliance bole tamandi kan noto alliance ni akrosi bake ibe men tintin kam bake wala mbaw ñin constitution 1997 APRC lam president ya jamile akija o yotu jam ñin UDP dibidol fanan wol baje kan nit ñim falen dro keta na keta constitution kenoti a to diabita president ya soso ñin dol fanan ko to diala ñande kala na MPP ko be tema ndel men be bandala ndel bajal ndel be wur question
okay
bebe la mbiri question la bari ndega menji je wala nyinti so ni na la bilo fana la ala comme ala bilo samba diaspora
ala motion o ya
ala motion ni diaspora mbele la mo bije ndel be ni karto fata je ndete zero sot la de ifana te zero sot la mbele ba sot la bari ndeka memmoy wala nyinti ko ku nyaala wona fitara ku ba kewti diaspora mo mon dem parta carte fawla isna no carte fawla jang
ni man paso sodo
ani jam faw ni man da paso soto kata ila carte fayet la ka bayile
no don plenol de
ani jam faw mo ka siya ka fo man paso soto kata se be ngara kata mo le kata kamana
okay
so ni la parti o faransi la mo nati no ye nati so aman jo sa na bula ten drone ni mbem pareta nala ina boras carte jam fo janni wato men ndel me ko do soto la mba système o soto la pour ka fenke par nin ka fo be diaspora nya kula ni la atelle kanyin jamal ki jang atelle kanyin ketay ba le kan campagne do ron de campagne ni tel sita ita ana na tel mu diaspora so fa le
MC what is your reaction
jërëjëf Bouba foog naa dégg naa ñoom ñëpp seen wax yi si mbiri draft console bu nga xam ne reject nañ ko foog naa loolu genuine Gambian si ko war a welcome tas yaakaar yi Gambien si yëpp Gambien si passé wut loolu soo bàyyi xel CRC bu nga xam ne président Barrow moo leen tànn ne dem na ngeen waxtaan ak Gambien si because loi yi réew soo ko liggéey muy mel ni constitution kenn ku nekk da nga war a sa xelaat da nga si war a am sa xelaat ak fu waaye munti nekk si biir réew mi au si diaspora ku nekk da nga war a wax ne man bugga naa loi bi lii dugga si bugga naa ñu génn si lii nu ngay liggéey constitution Gambien si yëpp d'accord ne constitution bi balaa Gambien si d'accord sax président Barrow contrat ba Gambien si mu nekkoon 3 years si biir 3 years yi dinaa organise elections dinaa jox Gambien si constitution bi fii kenn du fi toogaa si toogu président for more than 10 years Yaya Jammeh lu tax ñu génne ko fi rey yi disappear dóori bokk na si bu lu si gën a garaaw lu Gambien gën a taxaw mooy overstay 22 years mu ngi toog li moo nga yàgg si toogu bi di moo yaa ngi doon def ay mistakes soo xoolee Jammeh first 10 years am yi ñëpp gis nañu noonu transformé Gambie ba bu mu demee boo xam ne yàgg na rek doon na dugg di mes ñu disappear tooca yi arrest soo ñëpp ñëw tuggee la 2016 ñu ne buggaatuñ benn président moo xam ne fii nekk fu 10 years parce que ba doon dëgëral ko si campagne promise moo xam ne mu ko doon wax bu mu winee sa waxaat na ko soo Gambien si d'accord ne waa léegi ñu ne walaaj Gambien si ak fu waaye mu di nekk ñu nekk si marché ñu nekk si kaw bi ñu nekk si tool yi ñu nekk fu nekk wax sa xalaat si mbiri constitution bi ñu spend si almost $160 million du xaalis bu ndaw léegi ñu pare ne waa léegi Gambien si over 75% of Gambien ñu ne di current term président bi daf si war a bokk nga gis ne kon term bi dafa nekk 10 years mu dem wala coowi constitution bi lu tax ñu reject ko yëpp balaa constitution bi di dem si assemblée bi la président advice yi génn xam ne fii la toogoon ñun si xumaar fii leen toog fekk demaagul si assemblée bi sax dañ koo rey du jaala ñoom sax boo ñu njëkkee rey draft bi fekk accès gu si néegi député yi muy président advice ñoom ñuy advice président bi ñoom njëkkee rey draft constitution bi bu nga xam ne bu Gambien si wax sa ne lii leen bugga ñu dem si néegi député yi ñen ñoo ko reject nguur baa ko reject seen député yaa ko reject ñu ñëwaat léegi ñu ne waa léegi xool wax na ko fii ngeen d'accord si dara waaye cabinet ñoom comme ni ko xool bu jiba waxee téeri kafo ñeen toog seen téeri kafo yéen neen ñu ne waa léegi neen dugal lii neen génne leen dugal ñoom si boobaam sax even ministre of justice bi gëmul lu mu yóbbu gëmul ko ñoom seen bopp sax bëggul lii jaala bëggoon 97 constitution bi dafa neex de 97 constitution bi ku nekk président pour nga da ko bëgg a génne doole bu fa nekk fa bari si président léegi ñoom seen waa ñu ne waa nañ ko def formalité rek because ECOWAS ñu ngi presso fële EU xam nga UN ñi ngay complain about this Gambie dafa am constitution campagne promise la soo ñu ne léegi nañ def formalité rek yóbbu kayit comme ni ko Madi Jobaate waxee boro paper ñu yóbbu ko waaw Dawda Jallow dra bu gars yi reject noonu moom moo ko téebul defenu ko dafa ñëw bàyyi gars yi rek gars yi wax leen ne ñu reject ko waaye bii mu ngi ko defeen bu ko bii ñoom la gën a lu nga xam ne sooy nekk ministre mun ngaa dem loxo neen si nga nekk ministre sooy génn mun ngaa am xaalis la ne kenn laaj foo jëlee sa xaalis loolu wala doole yëpp lañ jël jox ko président bi ne ko am pare xam nga loi soo ko liggéey tey mun nga nekk présenté nga ne waa loi bi fii bu na ëllëg faa génn yow bu nekk tey government NPP dañu génn ëllëg loi bu tey mun naa police gars yi xapu na si APRC xapu na si Jammeh fi loi yu bëri yu mu liggéey tey mu ngi ko sonal ak nit tamit soo kon tey tas yaakaari Gambien si tey ku ñu war a bileem tey mooy président Barrow bu nga xam ne dafa tas yaakaari Gambien si bitri Gambien si or Gambien si ñàkk a respect Gambien si passé wu lii ak nguuram te ñoom li nga wax ne waa opposition bi ak independent candidate ñoo disappoint Gambien si déedéet ñoom ñoo disappoint Gambien si yow ñetti at nga wax na Gambien si xamal ñetti at bi nga ñibbi dem sa business comme noo ko waxee Gambien si nangu la sa nga continuer nga saa sa 10 years nga abale keneen ñëw loo muy campagne bi loolu la Gambien si bugga bot ba tey Gambien si ba tey mun nañ am seen boppa time limite mun nañ ko am fu ñu jaare la Jammeh mun nañ ko jaare Barrow si fekkee ne ñun bëgg nañ pour bëgg nekk benn ñu bàyyi jamante xeer bi opposition bi waaye di moo problème di opposition baa ngay divide di moo mu ngay féeboo di incumbent loolu moo xapoon si Yaya Jammeh tuuti sof Yaya Jammeh lu tax génnul fi luy xew léegi moo xew si time Jammeh kii demee nii ñi demee nii opposition bi wala bu ñu ñëwee tuggee Jammeh dem na waaye right now ko leen luy xew léegi su nekkee lii mooy continuer yaa nga may baro easy way mu delluwaat parce que jubóowuñ ñii ni ngi xelaat pour dem ana baro ah soo kon tey loolu yëpp moo laa woon ne dara bàyyi xel
ñan ñoo nekk di xaaral Ana Baro
aman dere ki jafaro lay ite folo lo borta ite fana be bor la
léegi soo léegi fu nekk
a folo lo borta
Ana Baro
dama analyse
ok dama ko wala am na spécifique
aborda na me wala fana be bor kana
léegi yow su nekkee ne tey génne baro wax naa ko fi last time jafe na yomb na si ñaari mbir la am na fu mu jafee mooy baro sonalul businessman yi sonalul jaaykati marché bi sonalul driver yi sonalul kenn su la nee nga yokk saako maal so nga yokk luwaas amul ci problème soo nee nga yokk foreign currency bi amul ci
so
problème
bëgg nga saaga ko
soo ko saagee ñu arrest la démb am na ko yóbbu koot démb démb am na ko yóbbu koot
Yeah, they've used the law
démb
for
am
the
na ko yóbbu
first
koot
time.
démb soo kon loolu am na ko yóbbu koot benn jigéen yóbbu nañ ko démb
For
koot
insulting
soo kon
hadi defon ni mo ni ni
ñi nga xam ne gis naa démb ñu ngi ko bind si
Yeah, for allegedly insulting.
waaw soo léegi
Understand, Baro. Because she's not
maa
yet
waxee
found
mooy
guilty.
waa fan la support
xam nga fan la gis
I don't
naa
know
gars
the
yi
lady.
bind ko.
yalla o be kala UDP
léegi
len diro ni
All we kitty bungo so
sunde wax fii kan fi gën a ku fi biir record ci affaire saaga mooy NPP
UDP la
because ñoom ñoo taxaw si state
atale ñoo tlo bu jale ñoo bande jam
programme yi state bi ñoom ñoo taxaw state programme yi NPP yi lu ñu def kenn musu ko def history Gambia Jammeh am na ko trans time yaay daxala ba ne Barrow dafa laa ñëw linga la tàccul la am na fi gis nañ fi ko ren si National Assembly ba taxaw saagal looy daabo
dede sagut ko
amoon na fi gis nañ fi NPP supporters yi is open
sagut ko
so kon tey NPP ñoo fi rekkoon xam ne suñu am si history Gambia suñu mbiri saaga
ku mo fa ku yake o man ken
so léegi su ñëwee léegi bu waa si affaire yi si affaire yi
Diaspora.
si affaire yi daa nekk si comme politique comme ñaari mbir so fu ma waxee ne yomb na pour génn fi baro mooy si nekkee opposition bi ñoo leen together ñu bàyyi xeexante bi demante xeenu neen suñu biir ñëpp ñëw together ñu focus ne problème ni Gambie mooy keneen nit la mu amee réew mu amee kee si réew mi tey moom mu leen jox doole mu appoint ministre mu daaxa ministre mu leen jox doole mu appoint ambassadeur mu leen jox doole mu contrôle suñu économie suñu kaaraange réew mi si loxoom la nekka du ni askan bi su moom la nekka kon tey opposition bi fu ne war a focus not about di focus si Lamin Ceesay bu nga xam ne opposition la MPJ opposition la ba tey yaa ngi dooleel nguur soo kon ma gëm ne tey lu mu war a def mooy loolu suñ ko dekkee tuggee rek pour ñu génne fi baro lu yomba la boo su defee ñu xam ne tam saa bële ñoom baro nekk fi moo leen féewoo mooy ñu xamee tey ñu amee wàllu business bi ñoo amee wàllu mbir def because lu nekk mu nga yokko si réew mi tey mburu yokkoo na fi xam su nekkoon jamono Jammeh la mburu si yokkoo mu attaque leen CFA bi si yokkoo mu attaque leen yaa dem dugal na loxoom si jaay nag jaay nititu jaay jaxato yëpp dugal na si loxoom so kon nga gis ne kon everybody ñëpp a ko xeex Jammeh ñu ko xeex 26 ñëpp a ñëw kenn ku nekk ñii seen doom yaa ngi diaspora ñii ni fu nekk ñu ngi exil ñi rey neen leen ñu dóor neen leen soo xeex ko dafa yomboon dan bii soo bii opposition bi da war a xoolaat suñu boppa soo su ñëwee si mbiri Diaspora Voting man dama gëm ne képp ko xamale Gambien nga an Barrow moo taxaw si kàddoom laay wax de after election bi muy gërëm diaspora bi seen effort because soo xoolee coalition bi ni nga ko setee coalition 8 political party la woon su ma fàttewut su ma juumut xoolal seen contribution si ñaata la woon ñii 50,000 ñii benn saako maalo ñii sukur loolu gaa yi doon contribute ñeen ñoo contribute xaalis bu gën a bari pour gis ne vote nañ Yaya Jammeh out mooy di diaspora ñoo gën dugal seen xaalis ñoo campagne ñoo doon di call ay nit man diaspora time maa ngi GDC ñu bari ma doon call di ma attaque sax ne ma trial nga wax Kandeh mu join coalition bi ñu bari mere woon nañ Kandeh si loolu soo kon tey diaspora bi per loolu bokkoon na si campagne promise lu tax ñu gën a xeex Yaya Jammeh bokkoon na si tam ne ci boo ko xam ne doomi Gambien nga foo muti nekk war ngaa mën a am voter card tey immigration ni ngay dem tey ni ngay dem Togo ni ngay dem Gabon ne dañu jox gars yi ID card ñuy dem loolu ndax mënuñ dem si diaspora jox leen voter card
bari amere MC madras lo len kawando la
understand nga
diaspora be kafu kanyo man to mo te da bondi
so léegi li ma explain mooy
atel yalla da bondi je kanyo kana sa na mo da bondi je
lu ma explain mooy lu ma explain mooy
idi si wotu mo ite man kafu diaspora ma
abla boy ndem si dan time je
ya Jammeh bondi hani sa ni do ta tan wa fay nim lem bel la
so lu ma explain mooy kenn wata ragal ne suñu demee élection man dama am fi vote oo dinaa am fi vote loo war a mooy ci boo ko xamee ne doomi réew mi nga ak foo munti nekk dafa bokk si campagne promise ne dañu war a am vote ak diaspora bi tey Gambia am na kër nga xam ne tey suñu amul diaspora kër yooyu tey suñu añee duñ reer mu ngi Gambia fii kon di war a gërëm diaspora bu baax a baax lu gars yi di contribuer si réew mi fii dimbale askan bi fii ku fi jooy tey yaa ngi école diaspora dimbale leen ma so dama gëm ne tey war nañ jox gars yi cër lu nga xam ne tey ñu ngi ko ñaan lu nga xam ne waruñu koo ñaan sax dafa war a am dañ leen war a jox voters card ñu vote.
Okay, MC, thank you so much, MC.
jërëjëf.
Ablaye.
Quickly, dafa am lu MC waxoon quickly mu important. comme bi nga mentionné ne 1997 comme constitution bi. dafa ne ku nekk président doo ko bëgg a génne. right. in a way I want to disagree because of they're honest people with integrity. te am na fi ñoo fi xam ne boo leen jox nekkoon buñ fi nekkoon président tey. xam nañ ne constitution boobu noonu serve the interest of the people te looloo tax ñu bari ñu dee. ci dëkk bi ñu bari ñu disappear ak coono biñ jaar turu yëpp loolu moo doole loon ka fi nekkoon ba mun a def loolu noonu. duñ xool seen boppa parce que 1997 constitution bi ku bëgg mu continuer rek parce que yow la féebo ak sa ay njoñ waaye soo xoolee askan bi ak Gambian bi di nga bëgg mu génn te man gom naa ne am na ñoo xam ne ñu ngi nekk doomi Gambian bu ñëwoon tey the next minute li ñoo def pour loolu génn ñu am constitution boo xam ne du leen jox power pour ñu noot askan bi ay yooyu noonu soo du ñëppay bugga mu continuer yes am na ñoo xam ne seen boppa la ñooy xalaat te dañoo fàtte ne kun fa yakun am na ñoom neex na tey moo tax ñu bugg mu nekk fa ñuy mbuboo ay yeneen constitution yu indi pour satisfy international community the pressures and their demands but seen biir xool du luñ bugga waaye am na ñoo xam ne dinañ ko génne
bala ma rek nee na am fa tuuti rek just 2 minutes gis nga naa ni seen conson bu baax la gis nga Yaya Jammeh moo doo def ay amendments
and ñëpp d'accord nañ ci loolu.
parce que some of this looy wax ni ay disappear yi ay rey yi nii yaa ne ko conseil la yaa doon use the executive power la doon use.
exactly.
it's not even soo xoolee TRRC bi soo xoolee TRRC bi
waaye again xam nga fan la constitution bi ñëwee MC xam nga fan la constitution bi ñëwee ci loolu ba mu ko joxee doole mu toog endlessly understand nga fa la ko constitution bi joxee doole mu mun a continuer de stay pour def li moo def
mooy soo xoolee TRRC bi some of this ak yu nga def foofu yëpp dañ laa woon ne if it nekku in line with the constitution naa ne semi constitution bi but Jammeh nga use executive power executive dollar doon use di jox gaay order even this time bi mu ñu wax nii after 1 plus bi naa ne semi constitution mu ngi fa woon
dañ ko génne
dañ ko dem ñu génne ko nu génne noonu mun roofloo ci la rek roofloo ci la rek génne nañ ko Jammeh ko génne nañ ko fa delloo rek ñu
Ablaye mu ne mi la réaction de
Buba
go ahead
Buba
badu ñeta tay mo bande
MC men be ko mo men foka jante ala moy la
okay badu
1997 constitution o bedata
okay
par Yaya Jammeh ka mo fake a bedata sa arambaro ka mo fa ka mo
ki waxoon Buba
go ahead
ko hatin diamu to be diamu la fo to man diamu nu
non mais mooy
boyata bismillah
ngamira ko ye jomple wala
dinna jompi
okay mais mooy
mbe gambelor danila mbe ngake kilinti nga president Barrow bondi 2026 fana do fu nga fana jibe ñin kamala ñin banko la ta ani anyanda futa la dame bantam bilo membentol ni wotema isiata ba adam bawole o bantam bilo nyaton kaya wala sulu fanati oto be moldani la oppositional ani melbe MPP famo ye Gambia kanu dolbe kono ngalon elafta Gambia ta nyato elafta sama ni kebata ite jarlote ijahalla bay di sama ke ministati ise utano bundu taxi samba ye jar amanta kata Libya wala lado to ngine mira nyaati men jamal ya soto oto nyi kamalam be nyanta nalale nyokan kawodim fanna anin na generation ol men kana jamal felenti na sasa tol soton kono laftela nge kanu andum ndino ni saw e balu andu nga jiko soto ko ni adre lotani kendo soto ndu ine balu la damal bade tan kono because of kudol e ma wole soto no jang akodo tembolo we have commodified our healthcare system na jar bunda nga ke muneti nga ke how do you say commodity fiir female mais jam ko jama soto wala so fiir femo sanno même ma soto abe wala nyama ñing damma satina ngana ngake kilinti nga president o bonde to nga president do jibe men sen sambano nyaato aman ken tol ye damma fonde ba kunna sam la saka commencer wolto Nina constitution auto. Gambian normal constitution on by parliament because member kono ha wobi yele bari jamfale bayi jamfa man la fi jamfala ni banku kan am ni banko mo ya jamfa ba kewate Gambia man ba ko ko to ba jamfantumo abaga do.
So which of the constitution are you referring to here? 1997, 2020,
the current draft, which is 2024, President Barrow's constitution, has been rejected. Not because of the contents, that is a secondary thing. It has been rejected because of betrayal from the president.
To the Gambian
people.
What is the
betrayal? Please.
No, just talk to me directly. Talibo, please, Talibo, Marco Edrong. Okay. It's fine. Just go ahead.
So what is the
Jamfa? Just go ahead, yeah.
When we have 2020 constitution drafted, we have a lot of local and international consensus, consultation. It's everywhere. Yes, it's not a perfect document, but at least people had their take and they had their give. You brought it. You did not support it because the argument at the time was, I'm President Barole Hankan. How can you bring a constitution just to attack one human being, one individual? Constitution is not built or made.
From the social media, la kono ala fo, bodam mam fo ku jamal foda.
Talbo abula complete.
Ani be fonga je ko indi, me jam kam molle.
Ba ko indi kan. Sa jam mol mi wolta understand.
Ku jamal ba kono mu yatina ni o manta.
Okay, ila mo na
ko alje senen.
Ila mo follow.
Boy wax ki dafa nopi. Ba ko rek
dañu waxtaan.
Du waxtaan ba ko wax rek.
So waxa mom dafa neex. Just let me just address it. Go ahead.
Ning kaito membuko constitution buko safeta diamo kita kunna fo sani ning mo jamale nyine support based on numbers kamenje ani sovel menata fundi parliamentarian no fele ya confirm ko diamo fo meke kunna ne all of a sudden they were to have a consensus ye yindo fundi mina ya gaset jamfa be min tole wala mundi ning ata yine fena nyine atina ngo bondi ye malafu weta parliament fonga o bondige na dia mo ku kilon kunna o kay to nyima expired we can work on it. Let's work on that. Why do you need to bring another entirely? Because ni ku do bondi koto akamunta rek kumo ni abondi mo balot ise bulo bondi no we can understand nya fongo se bono we can understand, we can still call human being, but human being without head never you follow. So it means there are certain things that are very core and fundamental to the Constitution. The Constitution is a document for leadership and also for followership. Ning leadership ning yo bondi ye. Because in the Gambia, even anybody who is anybody can be president, can be leader. No, it doesn't work like that. It should not work like that as well. Hani na imam yato, na pastor yato, santo libiye. Saning ruad bundado yo be bondi akamunda momo sekeno pastor di momo sekeno imam ndola dino han dino na ado to wotiye hani ko da alfaya kulle ka sutay ikamel fulfill ka keno alfati ni o bondi e ko no support is betrayal because Gambia dingol ko lafta nyi manza ke si falla lafta nyi luwa si falla ni wolwa nata bare ite fana mo Gambia dingol ye ga sotole iman d'accord ani jamale même fo ila ga len ka fo man d'accord ngina ba ila ga iten itol d'accord tamena yo fay ite lafta mena yo fena wala jam fa nyinti parliament nyin fay because of jam fa among the contents you can debate that on the merits and all that, but jam fa le follow keta and ko ku jam fa ba kono nobody should encourage it. That document should have been worked on. Ya jibe okay yine keta ngani mboni ngani keta ngani for welo, why do you need to go and bring another one? So you are betraying us. And it has now been confirmed that, in fact, there was negotiation. Until, okay, sign, all of a sudden something is gazetted. So, and
in the foreign side of this story, he have a laboratory.
But Alaji S. Dabo said it on the floor, nobody against.
Time
No.
Okay. Anyway, it's simple. It's left to him to believe you or not.
It's left for you to believe him. Yeah, very good.
So simple.
And the that side of the story, no for
Say you don't believe him, fine. I believe him.
Ndeko, ma fo ka fo malala dem ko. Atele ata fo jam. Atele ata fo jam.
Ata fo. Ndama bilegi tunga stop ka ata fo.
Ani na bi da ba ata fo le.
Na dua place jama.
Mindo.
Place jama sa fo hana ma janti.
Aha, ngolo fo kay. Bar me jam mindo. Enko. Iye membira yole mira ndefana nga membira mbole fo kan. Abanda.
Talibo sa abla kan
mbela la watum.
Okay, kan abla
mbela la watum.
wato bantal.
Mo mon di manti majang.
Okay, sa ila boy drum.
Mo ila bum fanko de ka jam fakke gele ila bum fanko.
Okay.
Soko bi
abla boy dingara.
Soko mo be la ko.
Talibo
ida fo la marlo ko ne ka jam fakke gele.
Go ahead abla please.
Nara.
Alors more question no more jamfano le. It's no more for jamfano.
Exactly.
So that is fine. But we martin na more ma foko jang jamfa so that. We will say it. You may not like it, but
So
membe ge wale. Ning ayata tonya. President Barrow coming advocate aning dole. Ka foko yo by the sign ale nyim fale ngali for family be ba ta jam for 20 years al defend no laje. Woto family fonte Barrow fon son do mo kono. Parce que what's a canon without no one? Entirely. Just like them for parliament here. They are useless. Why? There should be an act of parliament to talk about recall. Why are they not bringing that? Should that also come from us citizens? So that if they mess up, we get them out. But they are not doing that. And they know that it's a canon. It means it doesn't serve their interests.
But the constitution, can we call that, or the constitution states recall. Recall is still possible. If KWS wants, they can call me to go home.
It's very complicated.
It's complicated.
Okay, they can. And the process will not
allow me.
But there is recall in the constitution.
No. You see, the mention of recall in the constitution is not enough. As he had said, on parliament, all this budget session is useless because at the end of the day, the financial whatever regulation minor minister would have vomit. And I said, no, at the end of the day, now, if there is mention of recall, but it's like climbing Kilimanjaro bare hand, how do we say that is effective, that is efficient? Law should be simple, should be direct, should be effective, should be efficient. Unapplicable. You want me to recall you, but it will have to be, I'll have to sell my grandparents' corpse to have what it takes to even get you. And it's very easy for me to vote. I only go chew and put. But to bring you out, that one I have to go and climb Kilimanjaro bare hands. You think that is fair for me? It's not. It's not. So that is not the thing. I have personally engaged people regarding this, even at the assembly. They need to bring it, and they know it. But they will say it's a no-go area because it does not favor them. That way, if we have this man there, you see, if you want to serve the country, it's very difficult. If he is there and he's not doing the right thing, people will get him out. It means anyone Kufaneka did not make on it to serve based on what the people want. And that is why when you adjunate, the Constitution does not empower the president. The Constitution is not there for the president. It's there for the people. That is the basis. The Constitution is of Adam Barrow's Mangamokunda Constitution. No, it is everybody. So if the Constitution empowers citizens, then that is a good Constitution. But if the Constitution empowers the presidency, then that is not a Constitution. That is dictator in waiting. Because Constitution bila mo use mudef mumbuga. That is why power belongs to the people. And that should also be seen in the Constitution. So Parliament and the President and all those people, we know the problem in this country. And the truth is, the problem of this country is not the 1997 Constitution. The problem of this country is selfishness. Because the 1997 Constitution can be worked on and can be amended. Things that we cannot, we take it, the entering clause, we take it to the people. What is wrong with recall? What is wrong with presidential term? If really presidential term and democracy is in the heart of President Barrow, there is nothing stopping him. If Parliament also want to be really accountable and make sure they do the needful for this country, what is stopping them from talking about recall? What is stopping them from passing that act? When it came to their vehicles, they did. So in as much as we blame the presidency of President Barrow, we will also blame them because they are doing a lot of other things that actually are not working. But this constitution the rejection is a victory for the opposition. That if we work together, we can achieve what we want. So, Mbemolbe Danila, Nana, Nyokan, and let us start now. Because you are dealing with the most difficult, the most, sophisticated from all angles, negative or positive, politician Gambia has ever seen. He walks while you are sleeping. And before you know, he's a Trojan horse, you understand? Just like, let me put it this way, Ning Moye Gambia uniform odum, and everything a la bag, I tell a soldier or con. Gambia soldier antende, but Gambia ku bereba. Alka ku men tabi, abotakaram. It's a Trojan horse. That's how it is. So we have to, as opposition, come together. The youths, if we want somebody perfect, it's going to be difficult. Then it means we have to go and hold elections with God. Because perfection will cut out. But as far as Gambia is concerned, let's try to come together. Our political leaders, I'm a small politician. I'm just here, just one more politician. I know how difficult it is. Sometimes in Capisal, it's very difficult. 10 years, one place, and receiving insults, no money, no anything. We understand all those things. But let nobody go and join President Baba. Those that are attempting to go, don't go. Soon it will be over.
You are welcome, dialogue. You are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Everybody welcome.
Honorable, do you have anything to respond? Yes, sir.
Okay, Abaraka Bake, quickly.
I saw one MP. I've never had him speak in the parliament, the Nyamina guy. The first time
Nyamina is Dauda.
The first time I had him speak, it did not align with what was being
The rabbit and then the hyena.
The rabbit and the hyena or whatever. He continues to be silent. So the first time he speaks, it's like it was just disaster. Or you can
no, but at least nene bijabe diamu no. Nene
No, ita silo no mo député bunko.
No, but now konota be.
Biram lota sinya fula ka boy aka win. Ba election ay GDC bunta ñin ay bunta. Asa da ko ka ay ibunta ko.
But how can you have Keksane?
Mun Keksa
Biram assembly.
Keksane.
Keks is from the
Keksane bu kata nyamina.
Akata?
Biram le kata ye jomale o fe.
No, Bob, let's clarify this.
You have Keks, you have Malik, you have Maimuna.
Sai
for participate. Everything.
Akatale.
Sai forosole mi nyanda tala la. Forosole nyanda tala.
Also we can attest
Sai mo la choice sai ito be banna wono nyadi. Abe do mo samba kala muli wala nandi ya murni je ko take ay do ko ke ne.
Okay, moli borom leta. Bari borom ka bring tata assembly.
Ko kat yamu député bun ko dama wala mu banku do koti.
Bari what dem di?
Mu be.
Mune ya sambaji.
Bari ko atake men ye wol ni dama ke kilindi. Wol yela batalo ite na man tari nyin kalo ke tim e o dulato. Wol bi je yalla ndako biram ka benke.
Ay Ibrahim mu nekk je.
Biram?
Ay mu nekk je.
Ate banna.
Okay.
Ya ñoo jur la machine. Fa bo holo. To stop bo holo le.
O man gara dogo.
Ate da lobby.
Okay, thank you. We don't have time. Okay, thank you so much.
Député bu ko wala mala do ko ba mo kalo bandale ka fu na man ke diamu na mu nati ya. Mo fo mo
Thank you so much. Okay. 1 minute, okay.
Dem ko la man set. Ito so ko ndo.
Sai
ko démocratie fa indépendance.
Sai you
biran bi jele de biran lota député ala signa fula gagné tay den lota signa kili boy.
Okay, kana diam ko teke.
Go
ahead.
Now, Bob, okay. There is this thing that is a general belief in the Gambia. I'm not here to change it. But I am here to say, let's look at other alternatives. Kamo tombon ka samba député bumoto, nga try is based on competence. It should not be generally or entirely based on ning samo keta anatare, kulio keta anatare.
Yes.
Believe it or not, what makes that dead body in fact dead is probably the lack of hospital and the lack of proper policy and thinking. It's not badia. Nim badia do ne mote fala Gambia ka tum be mbade moti. Anu ka kele. Ngara yolo kulio kan yo kol. Meya tinna mbe bataka is maloptan kendo le soto. Mol menyanta tagla miral dulalto ila birago nim bankola nyatuta man align. Nyanta ka wole jibe. keks la janata ka bade ma ko does not take Gambia
mol ñante lon nale mol ñante lon nale
ma ko mo ya molon
mbolo fo kay tay
the mentality is this ni mo soto me yalo ay molon ani mol buña e vengo hawmo be na tema e ñolo na asin kata sangoto kata fengo is fine ama di yale digo sontala hakil maya sontala
but hana bugata if is competent
that is different from moment that sila ka report will give 100 pages 1000 pages ay disono tame 50 years abe Gambia sambra ko wala ba mo na nya e ba sambra nya that is different. It means we need to look at the most important thing, which is the individual's competence. Ala mirror nyato, ala divisional to, ala policy to, meya lo woman only win another mela body affected by what dimo anama marion. Gambia no nyanda ka wolle commence ka jibe amante kata samoto wala ka boholo di mola. Because as okay no na paeta, ay Gambia be wafi, if atede no fala, idimo anima marion. No jele jam. Woto nkana politician no gibe just because akamabe samotore kabu fa bijele and so
fa nda bijele ali sa bodam
okay
you are not a politician
il faut que dibi yalla
même 2 minutes wa bu gaay wax ni
okay sa bla ci
wa bu wax moy gis na talibo mu ngi sani her ñaari yoon ci nene di wone nene taxaw na mu daanu but holal nene bu nene am
ay mënu so
nene have almost 5000 votes independent nek parti nga xamel amu structure parti bu es la am memete ni assembly bi amun even 5000 votes ni they are member parliament am they have only 2000 votes ni member parliament
even bureau
have only less than bureau first assembly am 2000 posts la am bu against ci pero sama xam nga dafa am ni nek member parliament nekku ne ñom individual ñoo win elections ñom seen parti bu gaay taxawal parti bi mo leen win lo elections bari na fi lu nene am in Serekunda West for the first time a political party registered less than 1 year nga am 5000 votes koku jambar la bobu tay mo mako liggey
5000 o me kono fa wi no le
mo mako liggey andu gëna am solo lo liggey ko liggey
yalla albeño do ko men na jang albeño do ko men na wote kanu la fo itaman lo jaye la candidature wa fiya
man jaay sama candidate non am nga bay
APRC dana yela an candidature ni wa fiya boy
bay put ay ali tuma
no it's not allegation in my present
yo you can receive
because of scholarship
fan scholarship yo degal xam nga MPP ñaari nit ñoo fa nekk ñu xam ne tey duñ wax dëgg onasan nga ñu xam ne tey c'est something in UDP lu mu wax ni amut
ki na ko di wax
mooy
kan doku kay UDP de abe talibé Sonko do abe UDP ti Sonko abe doku dogo
yaay video di caméra man ma dogo yaay video ay nit caméra ay nit taatu fi ci
do kan KM
sama yaay dogo kat
ha sama fu
so ko man
dogo la
yow bala
ma UDP ina UDP
yow fa nga nekk
alors talibo
ite male APRC ma ndani jebe ba
can we listen talibo thank you
5000 you o man ter isu ni ko win ni wala mu isu
okay
so
ani tulum
win am na solo wala number of votes is important
ani tulum
MC please
win am na solo but number of votes
ela moy sanji be jama talibo
te dat to dala bi dam
okay sa ela moy drum please I give you 1 minute ngata honorable time mo bantale friend abla yes
ansa mamba
no
I can stop
no yeah
mini nale
okay now sorry okay ha sambar kan
alfa ni kebal ni sida dula do nga kumo fay bang bari kam mini il doit ma faire for drong
okay so you have gone talibo sorry honorable go ahead Sarah
well thank you so much Abaraka Bake I have heard from all of them you know ibem politician already and included me so ngaje ko même for at the end of the day you know mbela fa Gambia banko la ñaaru tal la
yes
you know bari talibo la kuma dandal let me come to those places because it is important na tara nung aya fole man taraje you know nsafunga opportunities to go to the media to clear that doubt but I am seated here you know nimmen kafo bantala ko Honorable Ceesay ka deputy buntu diamu da malake that's false There are numerous evidences.
Okay,
let me come.
Non ila moy do say ite jamta be jabi kan sa abula
Let me come in. You understand? Bankola loi mendintala pour nyanta kela. Wala mo loi de date. Legislation, law making. Na loi buko constitution même. Law making. Oversight. Wala mi ko kabula man sakunda no ma. Kaji be ninga na flow mendila. Koranto ngalwal mende da foke tamandi nya fo buke tamandi nya ma. Dibke tamandi nya nasin ni kacha ke aklo blandi luwala. Anin ke hold to account. That is my second mandate as per the law. My third mandate is representation. Namola batada, namola wosio. Nka for deputy bungoto nkabula minister noma. Kana mola hajol jara. This is what the constitution says as per my legislative mandates. Lawmaking, oversight and representation. Bankola loi for wala mantela load lama. But ni bota load lal fangolto. Ntolla kiam banko kan. Sateo siata meng siata sateo fonde me alongo carte kese kilingo buka soto je. Opposition han carte kese kilinta ma soto je. Udeba nga boholo sambaje. Wallahi. I did so. Even a single vote, they do not vote for United Democratic Party. I took a borehole there. You understand? And so many villages. Na banko kan damintol yalonko nga boholo sambaje. Karantaba loptano to Gifaro loptano to let me come in. Karantaba loptano Gifaro loptano to I took medical materials there. Karantaba loptano to I took beds there, I took medical materials there. I did all. I went to ministry. Education, high education minister is listening. I went to him to lobby for scholarships for students who graduate from high schools. And students from Kia West were awarded scholarships to go to University of the Gambia by my lobby. Even despite the fact that I have legislative responsibilities, but I still align myself with all of those teams. Of course, I cannot satisfy everybody. But Nimem Franco for Bandofane right total. But I think I would also reserve a right to respond to that allegation because I'm a politician today. I don't know what prevails tomorrow. To respond to react to that. So please forgive me to do that.
No, it's okay.
It's
not
out of this. After damage and lema me kuma ka onyi nati.
Okay.
Wara mi di bitora do ko mu munati. Yor fon ko mon la mental team menti hani te fam. Mon ka fana nyine be keri wala ko mo onyi nati.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
So if I understand,
I understand.
No.
I am not scared of that.
Okay, just
that's not even true. That was not what raised it. I raised that somebody is in the parliament and whatever the constitution mandated the person to do, he doesn't do it. The only one time I had the person say something, he said nothing. He said nothing. You see the other lie because I did not even see what you wrote.
Nene want to Facebook.
No, so this is
okay. All right.
Let me
okay.
In 1 minute to rest. Conclude. And MC, Sister Nene and Mr. Bojang, and Talibo Fango. One thing that is fundamentally important that we need to see is President Barrow is destroying our country beyond repair. In the next
I will just put it
go ahead. Call Becker na many along ko isiata bakala. Tonya na deputy la moto ko for nyimfa recall for. At some point I feel guilty about it. Because Kajeko, because about that vehicle issue. Nimbanko, if citizens of the country said you have used $50 to buy this vehicle, you could have used $25. We as public leaders who served with dignity, with respect, should respect people's opinion on that.
Yeah.
With good faith and accept anything that is faulty and go by that. You understand? Anytime people talk about that, You understand? As a public leader, I don't want to go to anybody to try to justify those vehicles, and I would never do that. Do you understand? Several times we spoke about it. So when you talk about that, I feel jit about it between me and God. Do you understand? Even though I know that I was not corrupt there, it was in my making. It was not my. In fact, I was not in the parliament when they were budgeting for that. Public service is an honor, and people hold us to account. This is why public officers around the world, when issues happen under their watch as public officers, some of them resigned. Some of them go publicly to apologize to the public. Public officers do that around the world. That is the only thing I'm trying to do. I'm not guilty of any corrupt practice. I'm not guilty of any procurement practice or whatever. I am not. So long as I'm a member of parliament, citizens are dissatisfied with the action of the members of parliament. I take the responsibility of that. That's what I'm doing as a public officer, and that's what I'm supposed to do. Do you understand? But what I'm trying to say, I talibo yung kuntu damento. Banko bitakan damento, people don't know. Audit report me along ko National Assembly have fintindi. Let me capitalize, to try to highlight certain things about that. Buba, there is $61 million is me along ko. The checks were cancelled, but the monies were all withdrawn from the bank. 61 million. All the checks were cancelled, but the checks were withdrawn from the bank. Who withdrew those things? Under the watch of the same government. Under the watch of the sitting president. Anything that I said in the audit report is in the audit report. It's not my word. It's in the audit report. Do you understand? I am from LRR. Masakungo Area Council was unable to even present a financial statement. It was on the audit report and on our National Assembly report, FPAC. It's there, everybody have seen it. Go to Banjul City Council. A land has been leased and sold at a value that is exorbitant, that the committee and the auditors feel is misleading, and that has to be explained. All those things happen, and they are in the audit report. Everybody more be opportunities to put our book or karang, memo oppositional fault. You have seen it. Okay, what I'm saying is what is in the audit report. Do you understand? I have so much respect and regard for President Barrow. Do you understand? This is why my colleague members of the parliament, you've talked about Honorable Saw for Nyamina West. Yes, yeah. I have not talked about him. He is a sitting member of parliament. I am serving with him. I have no moral authority to throw my mouth on the personality of my sitting member of parliament. I will never do that despite whatsoever. This is why I refuse to talk about that despite all of you have talked about him. So all I'm saying is in the audit report. So they are grassroots politicians. But it's important you many fanambe report sol kono e kaluwol fananu long e kumata bakala ñu many kata report sol kono kol mem fanan yalan ko kake National Assembly pour ngawol dol fanan jube akam birek daminto wala mu toñati na banko be tamakan daminto nimma bondi je within 2 years it will take us 10 years to be able to fix that mess.
Honorable, thank you so much.
To be able to 10 or more years to be able to fix that mess. So I'm calling on everybody else, all the young people, both Gambia and in diaspora, to join together to come 2026 to take out President Barrow. Is President Barrow not NPP against all the oppositions? Is President Barrow against the citizens of this country, against Gambia?
Against
okay. Thank you so much, Honorable.
So we go, and take him out of this country, so that we can get our country.
Thank you so much. Nal tentu kalje bake alta APS abo download sign tenting. Nale download wrong alsi fen jamal kenoje. Cash power alsa sanno jele alsi credit ko sanno jele wateral be serial le bongol kono be samale kono altitano la fona pour kara cash power sang. So it's the same as nidara cash power sang nawek. There is no charges mantaraje be sile le bunkono le natara APS abo be bulie cash power sang ite fen jola and the credit ko fana sanno jele ite fen jola. So APS right now ito lem jonta ngolti wala tina mo bebe la abo download ka natara ibe Gambia banda lafta kodo kila Gambia banko kanjang APS lem best because ne kodo ki rang mantaraje ye ko sam dokulal sotole mi alon ko ni futa tay bela kodo dilela a watola watara e mambata e sikko fanan kino through that same app within Gambia jang natara ye badi ngol soto Kiang badi bu basse e sikko kino nyindulal betol itole mu nyanta ngol ni nata Gambia banko kanja ni nata kodi kiola karola ker fayda ka korda wafole ke Gambia banko kanjang e korda soro locational belto walatinna al nyanda kada korda sanje ila lanno warta bakele ika korda lo min lo fana aka nyinya bakele walatina nin kene kensengo be bulu amanjare jahal taker fanda wala ila no mata mi be bori kan screeno duma science intending yeta korda sanje science wala yela korda loye ni lafta korda lorim bandingo fana ika wafile of course ye series also tele mi alon ke be wafi kan walatina al nyabaje la ila advertisement odo usen dara famo be daben atiso itolle o korda lo o korda nyongol ana nyongol ibe wolle lo kan Gambia banko kan jang alta ker fayda al yalla korda soro Gambia jang watara al mambata watara tapalya ni jenko fanan mantaraje ngal tendu kal je bake Charles Elvis Ngom Sire Drame Lamin Diallo ko sam kasa jawara fati itolle be masingol nin cameral koma mi ngebe tendu ke je bake arjuma na la lembe murana ni ala kititala bye bye.
Welcome to Care Madam Sanyang, Borom, Sweden. This is another Care Finder masterpiece. Let me take you through it. The first thing that really blew my mind about this house is the crafted seating area just around the car garage. Amazing. And the door is soundproof and transparent. Man, I can't wait to see the rest of it. And now we inside. Look at the living room and how spacious it is. Care Finder, y'all always outdoing yourself. And we now at the kitchen area, and you can see me doing my flexibilities and the drawers are so spacious, and then they have a gas cooker. What else to see? Let's go. Now we in the guest room. Look at how big this guest room is. Super big and nicely decorated. And they have a guest bathroom as well. Man, I can't wait to see the master bedroom. Okay, here we go. We in the master bedroom. Look at how big and spacious this is. And look at how big and spacious the master bathroom is as well. Care Finder, man, you guys are always doing it right. And now let me take you outside a little bit. Let me check my swagger up in this. You can tell I'm killing it on the runway. So now let me take you at the back. They have a swimming pool. My God, look at how spacious this swimming pool is. I can't wait to really jump inside, to be honest. And they have a Bantaba sitting area as well, so you can just chill and have a good time with family and friends. And then they have swings for children or couples. This is the right spot, trust me. And this house is just next to Care Madam Ceesay. Up your sleeves for our next gated community. What is this gated community gonna look like? Because Care Finder, they always coming up with this special, amazing stuff that we don't even think about. So I really cannot wait for it. So in case you're interested, you can just call 417-2215 for more information. And disclaimer, this property is not for sale, has an owner and not open for viewing. Care Finder is here for you.
Nothing ntemu APS leti. Ntemu APS leti. APS Gambia le mu APS ti. Katun APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyati mwete kufuri mbala kentala di. Ke nyati mbondari taba futu wola. At least it ya fonte ko APS minkullo balbiji. Imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibina do ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyati mbo. Yo min fo yenda sija. Ndanga moyro ko APS wallet isa kodo kino min tata fa wuli muang ime charge fenna wala nta sindi jang
ako ngatimbo nkoy ko kabo transito kata wala fa wuli muang ite fenne dola womu zero file bitun kabo wo 20,000 la ka sele sal eke tam eke charge ne fa abuka fensi
oui
1% da malam mati
woto yara gamen no be nyanta wulla kana APS wala tele mobile ko ko ka ko do ki ibadi ngol
yaajele ñi APS kabrin nan credit ko to bari men ko mayata be wala fa mo kas pawat ni suto be during suto be dibini abe tema biti kol sonda ila APS mobile lo sika ni asika to ya safe da men ko fen ko atondi nawek ha ni oto je nyamen do tachi ama ni ama do abanta ila kas pawa isa hawasima ajibe free joriti je
oto mbade ngamye no albe sito wulle fi set alna leta APS wallet yela lam baylo kon APS wallet ñaata doro bari ko do nim fata do su kon to
dañu defo no le mol ñala jam nim fata do su kon mbafole
ba ci je mbita ndori gi sa jede kadu sa APS 100% namundi
APS 100% Gambia 100%.